Okay, so last session, your group had been inside the Wizards of Wine winery after killing the inhabitants and some of its creatures in the cellar and found throughout the building. The plant's now starting to die after whatever magic the creatures who were tending to it had over it seeming to be gone. You heard a loud crash from above, and as you went to investigate, you found a large shadow dragon and a rider atop it, investigating the scene from which you had fought the large plant creature the hags had referred to as Winter Splinter. After a brief investigation of the area, he took off on the dragon, to which Lane and Nakari shared that they were familiar with these people to some degree. Lane, the dragon, Glaciax, a known terror in the Shadowfell, somehow here in Barovia, and all Nakari could recall was that this figure's name was Meridian. After they flew off, you decided to set off towards Kresk and found the man Bluto, who had formerly been a plant creature, cursed by the hags of this winery, now freed. You took him off towards Kresk, and they seemed a little hesitant to allow him in. After a little convincing, they did allow him to come inside, and you notice they acted a little different around him than they had you. Is everyone prepared for the nightly assault of undead that befalls Kresk? It didn't seem to come. Throughout the entire night, it seemed still and quiet, an unusual occurrence for, as they had told you, the past 5 years. During this time, Harkem went to the Abbey to investigate and follow up on what Lane had told the group about it, and he found some very basic living conditions for the guards and an armory of silver weapons, and saw a vampire, very starved and heavily chained, escorted into a building, and he wasn't able to hear all of the conversation, but he heard bits about it not being worth anything and to discard it. To which he decided to leave, return back to the group. You all set in for the night, and the next morning you went up for your tour around the Abbey that Raylan had told you he had procured with Zuleika. As you traveled up the large mountain to the Abbey, the guards allowed you in, and Zuleika gave you a very open tour, showing you the vampires kept prisoner and explaining that these were the pack's way of fighting back against the undead, by not targeting specifically the undead, but the person behind all of it, Strahd von Zarevich, and that she believed his weakness lay somewhere within the blood of the creatures that he himself was responsible for. While investigating around this very rustic and kind of poorly kept area of study, Arkem and or Ra, primarily doing the fumbling around bit, tried to steer attention towards himself a couple different times. The last time sliding on ice just outside the door, and Zuleika seemed to get quite upset at this moment. And as we start tonight's session, Ra and Harkem and Lane on the second floor, looking out the open door into the courtyard, you see something different from what you had seen earlier in the courtyard. A thick, billowing smoke seems to rise up from the courtyard. And you hear, suddenly, some of the werewolves around the Abbey start to howl.
Oh, fuck.
And then a loud bell somewhere up on the Abbey starts to ring loudly. I'm trying to find the page to swap us over. Be patient. Sorry. Okay, Harkem, Ra, Lane, you can see the smoke outside. You hear the howling, and then you hear a clash of steel off in the distance. Nakari, from the first floor, you hear a jiggling of the door just to your side for only a moment, but then it seems to stop. Zuleika, who had just started to raise her voice in frustration over the situation before, now looks beyond, and then around at all of you. What is going on?
Happening? I try to say at the same time she does.
Okay.
Were you guys expecting guests?
Only all of you, and she rushes past out onto the balcony of the second floor.
Yeah.
With the other werewolf with her.
Yeah, let's go.
I will follow.
I will also follow after I grab something off the desk.
What are you trying to grab off the desk?
I don't know. Seems like she tried to hide something earlier, right?
There were some papers on her desk that she'd pushed off to the side.
Yeah, those ones.
Okay.
Shove them in my bag.
Okay. She doesn't seem to be paying any attention to you. You can roll a sleight of hand check, though, if you'd like.
Oh, I wait till she leaves.
I mean, she's out the door right now.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Grab them off pretty quickly. Lane, Ra, Nakari, what are you doing?
Bad perception roll. Going outside.
Okay.
Same. Just going outside, seeing if there's something happening, or something bad happening. But there's something.
Sorry, I'm not.
Can we?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just going to look at them and ask if the door's like supposed to be locked or that someone was trying to get in.
They're looking around between the two of them right now. The alarm continuing to sound. I don't know why the
bell's not
music
ringing.
never played.
Oh.
I don't have a bell, but I do have music, and it's supposed to be playing.
Can I?
Maybe. Go ahead.
Can I cast Gust of Wind and make this fog fire stuff go away so I can see, at least in the line that I get?
Wow.
Okay.
Appropriating my culture.
Sure you can.
Here's my line. Where's me?
You were busy pilfering papers.
That's fair.
Boom.
Okay. As you raise your shield up in front of you, a burst of wind flies out from it, separating the fog.
Oh shit, that was like perfect alignment too. I didn't even know.
As you look down, you see a small glass bottle cracked open just next to the well, about where the center of the smoke cloud is. Down below you, you can now hear over the sounds of the bell a gnashing of teeth and what sounds like bone and sinew popping and snapping.
Oh my god.
You want to give me a
If I-
perception check? See if you can see what's going on down there?
Shit, can I just jump down? Can I just use my steps of night and jump down?
Okay. Doesn't have to be dim or dark though.
Is it daylight out?
No, it is daylight out.
Fuck, I got rid of the fog cloud. God damn it, I should have jumped down first.
Well, that doesn't count.
It's
either.
not that
It's
far.
not-
Just jump
No,
down.
steps of night is does not have to be. I think something else does, but I don't think that one. Let me just find it. Dim light or darkness. Fuck. That's flying speed.
It's not steps
How
of
about
daylight.
Blessing of the Raven Queen? That one lets me teleport 30 feet. So if I know the general direction, I will teleport close to it. What was that? Oh, it's Blessing. Oh, and you asked for perception. Yeah. Oh, fuck
Ooh.
yeah. Oh god. Maybe I should have came down here. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Because I don't know who the bad guys are and who the good vampires are. Like the ones that they're trying to keep.
Don't they have the only one locked in like a cage?
I got a solution to this.
You're not coming through.
To hit the mute button. Lane, as you hop down here, you see now surrounding you are several vampires. 4 of them seem focused as they are chewing on the remains of 2 werewolf guards, tearing them
Oh.
apart. All of the doors, which were previously locked, the cages that contained them now wide open, and the chains on the ground. Can everyone roll initiative for me?
No.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna use my vigilance, vigilant blessing
On me?
Okay.
on myself.
wow,
So I
selfish.
get
Selfish.
Advantage
you know what I'm
on
gonna do?
initiative?
Yeah. I'm just gonna do
Hell yeah.
this.
Okay.
2d20. Oh, that doesn't work right. 8 and a 6. Fucking Christ. I wish I
Actual
could roll
20.
advantage on
I'm gonna
initiative. That's
actually-
so annoying. I got an
That's
8
not
on
too
my
bad.
advantage in my initiative. There's a blast button on these like measured templates so that you can blast the fucking walls off. That's crazy.
It's either a very injured cow or a war horn.
Yeah, that didn't sound good at all.
I don't think you came through that time.
He's
either.
muted again.
Keep hitting my mute button on accident. I'm sorry. Harkem, you were up first.
Sweet! After stuffing those papers in my pocket real quick, can I bonus action? So for the basic poison, it says you can coat your weapon or up to 3 pieces of ammunition. I assume that's the same on the poison I made.
Yes.
Can I just bonus action, because I'm a poisoner now, quickly coat 3 arrows in that fire spider poison?
Yes.
And then I will take a look outside.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
That is because you can't see the first floor. Looking down in the oh, and I can't delete that now. Maybe I can. There we go. Looking down right here, I believe there is a creature just behind Lane, and you see 3 or 4 others not too far away.
You don't see me, right?
They don't seem to be paying attention to you right now.
So is that the advantage?
I would say I will take your passive stealth for this, yes.
Sweet.
They are unaware of you.
I would shoot one, but I don't know how to click him.
That's frustrating. Yeah. Boom.
Ooh. Oh.
Click it and I'll put you back up.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, let me see really quick. Inventory. Now this shouldn't do damage to him. And it didn't do anything. You know what? Whatever. Shooting him.
Okay.
Wow.
You shoot out a 15. The arrow, the burst of wind that flies out from your bow, this bit of fire trailing it, freaks into the snow, melting it instantly, and he turns towards you and hisses.
Well, that's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. This vampire here, seeing a fresh body down here, is going to turn away from the corpse it's feasting on, target Lane, and make a claw attack. That is a 19 to hit.
That is my AC.
Okay, you take 7 slashing damage. What are you concentrating on?
I don't know. Gust of wind, probably.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Oh,
Unless you
yeah,
drop
it's a
it.
big. I didn't drop it. I mean, I removed the
Yeah.
template, but I guess it would be a big gust of wind flying out for me. I don't know if
But
that
it flew across up there. It kind of just.
No, all right,
I don't know. Is it constantly flying? Yeah, it's constantly
for a
flying
minute.
out from you.
Yeah, I guess
So
I never
it-
turned it off.
Hold on, then let me.
But we could say that it's gone because, like, I didn't say, and I don't want to. I don't want to like retroactively do a bunch of stuff.
Well, she succeeded on the save to make it to you anyway, so it's okay.
She
You
doesn't hit
take
shit anyways.
7 slashing damage, and she's going to make another claw attack. 23 to hit.
Oh, that definitely hits.
That is 8 slashing damage.
Oh my god, I turned it off. Stop telling me that I'm doing this.
There. Then it's her turn. This one over here, going to rush around to try and do the same thing. It's a natural 20.
God damn, they're fucking me up right now. I'm
That
about
is,
to teleport back up. Fuck this
18
shit.
slash. Actually, don't you have you have resistance, right?
To
until
necrotic, yeah.
How long does the resistance from the blessing of
Oh,
Raven
the whole
Queen-
turn.
All the way up until
Yeah.
your next turn?
Up until my next turn. Let me just double check that.
Yeah, double check that.
Blessing of the Raven Queen. Let's see. Until the start of your next turn, you gain resistance to all damage when you teleport using this trait until the start of your next turn. Oh, so I like half all that damage.
Okay, so add a total of 16 health back to yourself after
Fuck
that.
yeah. That's fucking
Okay.
cool.
You also
he's
appear
gonna swing his
ghostly and
claws again.
translucent.
That is a
How do I
16
heal
to hit.
Well, that misses finally.
You should just be able to add +6, like type +16 into your health, and it'll.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I had 92. Oh, fuck, that's cool as hell.
Nakari, you are up.
I'm gonna go open this door.
Okay. You move forward, open up the door. Oh, I'm bad for that. Go ahead.
That was what, 5, 10. Was that 20 feet or 50?
That was 15.
15.
Yes. 10, 15. You have 15 more.
There we go.
And you can sense just around the corner one of these creatures moving towards, or its gaze fixed towards Lane. Right there. Because you have blind sight, yeah?
I don't have
Blind
it
fighting.
activated.
Blind fighting.
Oh, yeah. Blind
Yeah.
fighting.
So 10 feet, yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Wow.
I didn't want to interrupt, but it's very...
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay, there, no, it let me move. Okay. So that's 20. I'll move right here for 25 and get in her way.
Okay.
I'm gonna bonus action activate my shield.
Okay. So as you put your shield up in the air, it bursts into a sparkle of colored golden light surrounding you, and freeing up your hand.
I have to target myself to put it on me?
I think, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah.
Somebody kill that cow.
It's a war horn.
I want to attack. There we go. I'll learn how to use my mouse. And since I'm not holding my shield, I'm going to use my two-handed button. I'm
Okay.
gonna attack.
Swing down with your axe in both hands for a 17 to hit, and it cuts into him.
And second attack.
Okay, you swing it around again, hitting right next to the same spot, cleaving a huge piece off of him.
Alright, and I'll get my end turn. There we go. That ends my turn.
Okay, this werewolf in here is gonna rush in, and he is gonna swing out with his claws towards this vampire, and miss as it strikes into the rock next to him.
Oh my
Right,
god.
you are up. He's not a guard, he's a science person. Bruh, you are up.
Oh boy. Alright, so because
Come on, get down there.
yeah, let me start by getting off this here balcony. Haha.
Aha!
Oh good, thank you.
I don't even think you have to fly. You can just fucking leap down there like a badass.
And use my
You're
little
not going to.
I hit the mute
Well,
again. You can choose
oh.
any spot you want down here. I'm just showing you where.
no, that's cool. It's a werewolf. That's assuming an enemy. And those are all in. Okay. Well, I feel like I'm pinned against a hard place and a scary lady. I'm gonna attack this one right here.
Okay. You want to move here or here?
Yep, right there. Perfect. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's. Since I had so much time to stretch, let's start with the old punch. Roll, please.
Okay. Ra flies down from the balcony, lands in the snow, hardly even lifting it up in the air, and punches this vampire right in the side of the face.
Right in the kisser.
Right.
And we're giving another one right to the moon.
Okay. Your second attack is a 21, which also hits.
Not quite to the moon, but
Not
we're
quite
gonna
to
double,
the moon.
double down and flurry of blows.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh,
Ain't
no.
hitting shit with that, you bastard.
You're hitting something.
Take that, werewolf.
Intended.
A disaster strikes.
Oh, God.
Okay. Ra, as you
Yes.
punch out with your flurry of blows, your first strike catches on one of her chains that she is still slipping loose from her wrist. Unfortunately, it wraps around your arm and grapples you.
Oh,
You
no.
can still do your other attack, but you are grappled.
No means no, lady. No means no. One more punch, please. Oh man.
Okay.
One.
That
Just another
hits.
one.
As you have this chain wrapped around your other arm, you pull her in and punch her with your left. She, still having the chain in her hand, grabs onto it. Anything else for your turn?
Other than some goofy banner back and forth, that's it.
Okay.
Behind me, dinner first.
This creature over here, blood dripping from its mouth, is going to look up from its meal over there in well, that's not right. I don't know who I accidentally targeted.
Not it.
Wrong creature. And it is going to spit out. Hold on, it has to move forward first, I think. Yeah, it has to move forward first. It is going to rush forward next to the well, and it is going to spit out in the direction of all three of you. I don't know if I can.
Oh, it's those fucking vampires.
Those things suck.
Yeah, we
There you go.
fought them already.
Big burst
They
of
do.
vomit. Vomitous blood comes out of its mouth. I need you to all give me Constitution saving throws.
They're gonna
And also,
die.
it can't be selective, so
Oh my god. That's a
all
bad
of
one.
them as well.
Plus 5?
actually.
Oh, you still succeeded somehow. Never mind.
Yeah, it's not a high
Oh.
save.
Natural
Look
20.
at that.
Ooh,
Oh
okay.
wow.
Is it necrotic damage?
Necrotic damage, yes.
Ooh. So I have to
Um,
get double resist on that.
It didn't roll damage for some reason.
Does it work if we get?
Because they rolled so well that they all died.
You take you take half damage, so you all succeed. You take half of 7 because I rolled really poorly,
Lane gets half on half on half.
and you
Yeah.
get half of that, Lane.
So is that like 2?
And then half again because of the blessing.
Yeah, and then half again. So
So
you take 1 damage.
1.5? Fuck
You
yeah.
take 1 damage.
That's
Those things
stupid.
used to be a lot more threatening than they are now. Those things were fucking us up in the beginning.
So what's half of 7?
It's rounded down. It'd be 3.
3.
3. So you take 3 damage. These other vampires seem to be splashed with the blood, but not too terribly affected by it. I lost my combat tracker. Come back.
Oh no.
This other one that Nakari has just hit is going to turn towards her, and it is going to make 2 claw attacks. That is a 26 to hit.
Is that disadvantage?
Oh yeah, because your
Ooh,
field gives off bright light. Hold on.
Sentinel attack.
Hmm.
Okay. Give me one moment, because I gotta figure out how to roll this. Like that. There we go. That is a 23 to hit still.
Wow.
So it hits you for 7 damage, and you can sentinel attack it.
Oh, is it this one right here?
Yes, it is the
Right below
one
me?
south you. Yes.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that was a 19, you bitch.
Oh man. As you swing out, you slam into the snow next to him as he dodges out and takes another claw, which I should have rolled at disadvantage. Hold on. No, that is a natural 1. Just hit the thing and I'll redo it. There we go. That is not good. Disaster strikes him. Roll a d6, Nakari. No, make it a d8. We're higher level now. Make it a d8.
What? No, just one.
Yeah.
As he strikes out with his claws, he connects straight into your chest, and this bright burst of radiant energy arcs off from Nakari's chest into the creature, and he shrieks back in fear as it seems to burn him immensely. Whoa. I just accidentally took all his health away. Hold on.
Now you gotta keep it.
Come back out. There we go. This guy, he is gonna move away from you, Lane. You already used your reaction, but he is gonna move off towards the vampire here and take a claw attack at him, which hit, and for some reason did not apply damage. Okay, and then he is going to bite into his neck as he pulls him close. Or attempt to, and miss. The werewolf pushing him off. This one that was struck by Ra, who is currently grappled and grappling Ra, is going to
Just trying to
attempt
seduce me.
to bite him.
Yep. Seduce
That
me.
is a 25 to hit. You take 5 piercing and 9 necrotic.
Yikes. Buy me a drink
And you're-
first, please.
You
Your
just
hit
bought
point
her a drink.
maximum. Your hit point maximum is temporarily reduced by 9.
Ooh, she has your life force.
And then
Ruh-roh.
she is going to also swing out with her claws towards you. That is a 16 to hit, which misses. After the bite, you pull away, dodging the claw attack. Lane, you are up.
All right, I am excited. This is the first time I'm going to do this. So I am going to, let's see, where are all these guys at? I'm going to use my, oh, we want to select a lot of guys here. Fuck, that's not the right button. That one is. I'm going to use my channel divinity and turn undead. But do I want to move?
That's a werewolf.
Yeah, you have a werewolf targeted.
Oh, fuck that werewolf. He just got bit. He's undead now, probably.
It's too late for him.
Okay. So I don't know if I select all these. I don't know what's gonna happen. So hopefully it rolls for them.
Okay, we'll see.
Turn undead is run out of its designated item uses. Okay. Well, I've never used it ever. I don't know what that means.
What is that?
You gotta go to inventory and find it under inventory and add
Under
to
inventory?
it. Or features. Probably under features.
Oh, features.
And then the
channel
uses.
divinity. Oh,
Yeah.
because I gotta use channel divinity just the channel divinity one.
Right.
But I don't think that works. Oh, it does,
Definitely
yeah.
just had all of them roll wisdom saves.
Fuck yeah.
I hope it tells me which ones succeed and which ones fail.
DC of 18, so literally
It does.
only two
It
of
tells
them
us too.
fail.
Only two of them succeeded.
Succeed, yeah.
Yeah. Trying to
But-
find out which one.
What level are they? Or is that not? Do you not get that yet?
Is that on
Um,
there? Can you link?
Let's see. How do I link it?
I think if you just click it, it'll link it.
No, it says it does not.
Oh, 5th
Hold on,
level
I
is
think-
destroy undead. Yeah, you have that.
Yeah, if the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute. A turn creature must spend its movement. Let's see. It also for its action. It doesn't say.
CR
Oh, it
of
says
2
more
or
details.
lower.
Turn creature must spend its no.
If it's
These are
I don't know if I
these are all
have
above
that.
CR2.
Aw, boo.
Yeah.
Oh, destroy undead passive abilities.
If they were CR2, you'd.
Two
I
or
mean, you
lower,
wouldn't be
yeah.
fighting.
Instantly
Yeah.
kill him.
Trying to find my. This is the status effect one. So they are feared.
Shook.
They lose their reaction. They cannot take reactions either. So that's cool.
There we go.
Turn Undead does so much stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit normal, a bit more than normal fear. They have to use their action to try to escape.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna mark them as frightened so that
Yeah.
I know which ones are and which ones aren't. I can't mark these ones for some reason, so I'm gonna put a net on him. Oh, that's probably not a good idea. Because that's gonna count as restrained. There was
Okay.
one that succeeded. And that was... Okay. So this one succeeded right here. And this one up here. Right? Yes. Okay. Sorry, still marking. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Anything else for your turn? You still have
I still have a bonus action. That I cannot really do shit with, so.
you can't do anything with
Yeah,
your bonus action?
Not really. I
You-
don't really have any bonus. I can use spiritual weapon, I guess, but I don't want to do that. Because I don't want to hit those guys. I want them to run away.
Okay.
Can I use my bonus action to say, they'll run in a second?
Okay.
That's it.
Sorry, I hit.
Okay.
Okay, so it is all of their movement or action
All.
movement?
Action dash, yeah.
Okay, so this one is gonna go straight up the wall behind it and over away from you, and then rush over here and jump down. Oh, it doesn't have to because it just climbs down the wall. Never mind. See, so do. Oh, cat, what are you? Sorry,
Apology accepted.
trying to do movement, Matt. She jumped right on me. It scared the hell out of me. She can't sit up here. Over here, and then this one is the one that was not afraid. It is going to move towards you, and it is going to swing out 2 claws, and then a bite towards you, Lane. It's a 20 to hit.
Ooh, that definitely hits.
And then a 12 to hit as it
That
slashes up against your shield, and then it is going to try to.
How much damage did that do to me? Because I need to add some
you
back.
took-
Oh no, I don't have resistance to that. Never mind. No
You
more
took
resistance.
12. Yeah, no more resistance. For some reason, the bite won't roll.
That's because I missed.
I think the money was the one. Oh.
I'm just going to roll it. There's a 10 to hit. The bite crunches down on your armor, and your armor protects you from its teeth.
It's the Abbey of St. Markovia's turn.
Why does it say that her name is the Abbey of St. Markovia on the tracker? She
I am the Abbey!
I'm the Abbey. She is going to step forward.
Show us what you got.
And then find the ground floor. And then target the right people. How many people does that hit?
7.
3. Okay. She is going to shoot a bolt of lightning out that will not roll for some reason. Okay. Fair enough.
You broke all
Can
your
you-
rolling. Maybe... no? Oh, no? Probably doesn't have anything to do with the con save, does it?
No. Oh,
Waiting to
gosh.
resolve that.
Going to shoot a bolt of lightning down. It is going to streak into the vampire behind you and then arc off into the two nearby. Does not succeed, so it takes... For some reason, it wouldn't let me target all of them.
Ooh. Did she shoot chain lightning?
She might have.
God damn. That's 4 people, you said?
3. Yeah, 3. Oh, 3 bolts, then leap. Okay, yeah, that's why it wouldn't, maybe. See, he... Okay, and then this one as well. I have to find out how Arcady had that set up. Oh, she succeeded, so. Okay. Going to end her turn. The werewolf up here is gonna rush down into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it.
Jump to the ground and start swinging at this one behind Lane.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So it's just gonna bite the head off something.
He is going to stab with his spear twice, because he is a guard. Okay, his first stab catches into the creature. The second one is sidestepped, and that ends his turn. Harkem, you are up.
Holy
real-
shit, really?
Real quick, if this one took damage, or if any of these took damage, they are no longer affected by turn undead.
Oh, are they not?
Yeah, if they take damage, it drops.
Well,
Fortunate.
I'm sure Zuleika would be really sorry about that if she understood.
She's gonna hear about it. Don't worry.
I would like to bonus action hide, please.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Pew. A lot.
Okay. That is quite a lot.
Can I go back down so I can see?
Yes. I'm gonna put you...
Oh my god. There's a lot of people down here. Holy shit. This is the one that is grappling my brother? I will aim at that one.
That one is under the balcony.
I was gonna say, can I move
So
over
you would
to
have
see?
to move, you could move like right over here on the balcony and you'd be able to see her. You can't, there we go. You'd be able to see her from the balcony right here.
Can
Because
I
there's that hole.
get there with 15 feet of movement?
15 feet, where...
Or
Let me look
move
where
there
you're-
first, then hide?
hold on, let me look at where you were at. 2. Yes, you could get there with 15 feet of movement.
Then I will do that and shoot with one of my poison arrows.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack.
With advantage.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Okay, as it streaks out and connects into her. Sneak attack damage too. The burst of fire explodes on impact and rocks her up against the nearby cell.
And I will use Wails from the Grave on that nearby one.
Okay.
Ah, resistant mother.
As the energy streaks off into him, you do notice it seems to resist the majority of it, but it does have an effect still.
And that's my turn.
Okay.
Can I have a soul from one of them when they die too? I won't be able to see it. If they're in range.
This guy who was inside is still inside. And that is his turn. This one was struck by the lightning. It is going to...
I feel like he skipped a turn.
Did we?
Why did he... Wait, he just now got out after 2 turns?
No, he hasn't come out yet. At all. He's just in there.
Oh, he's scared, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
just
not everyone's a fighter.
Not everyone's a fighter, man.
Useless.
That was a 22 to hit. That is 7 slashing damage. Actually, she's gonna not do that damage and instead just grapple you. I think it added it back. You should have 95 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She is not going to do that. Instead, she's gonna make a bite at you for a 16, which crunches against your metal armor, but does not pierce through. You are grappled, however.
Wait, do I not get to make a strength check or anything for that?
No.
If she forgoes damage on the attack and instead just grapples, then it just grapples.
Oh, alright.
You can attempt to break free of it on your turn, though. This
will
nearby vampire is going to claw into you as well. He is just going to claw, though. That is a 23 to hit.
Oh my god.
You take 6 slashing damage. Then he's going to swing his other claw around for a 10 to hit. And Nakari, you are up.
Didn't want to. Right, I'm still gonna target this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That hits. You bring your axe down onto the back of his neck, severing his head from his spine. Rolls off into the snow. Harkem, you can create a soul trinket
please.
as it dies.
And then I'm gonna turn around and attack this one.
Okay.
I guess it didn't press.
Oof.
Okay. As you bring your axe down onto it, right in the center of its head, it splits in half, and the chain unravels from Ra's arm as it slides off.
Oh
Thank
no.
you.
I'm out of reactions.
Bonus action movement.
I'm gonna Misty Step right here.
There is a creature there. You have to Misty Step to the other side of him.
No, I can't see him for some
You can't
reason.
see.
No.
Weird.
Sorry, I didn't know you was there.
He's
Sorry.
camouflaged. He looks like the
Why
path.
can't you? Oh, for some reason you don't have vision. There. Can you see him now?
Yeah, I can see him now.
The
So I'm gonna
bubble was.
Misty Step right here.
Right
Yeah.
here. Okay.
The holy
Okay.
bubble was obscuring it.
You disappear and reappear in a burst of white, radiant energy. What would you like to do? Move or anything, or is that end your turn?
That ends my turn. I was
Okay.
writing off my spell point.
Okay. This guy is going to swing out his claw wildly. Not a guard, but he hits. I think yes, that is a 16 to hit. He hits, slashing into the creature, who is, I don't think, scared anymore. Ra, you are up.
Ho 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 boy. Now that this lady that was trying to court me has fallen asleep. Let's see. Who else is around? Who else can I get to? What the hell is that? Werewolf? Between those two werewolves, is that a vampire or?
Where at? Right here, that's a vampire, yes.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure. Well,
Yes.
I think I'm gonna move. Okay. Oh, yep. That's clearly a vampire. Yeah, to zoom, in, the roar,
Yeah, he's
face
got the
of
roar.
roar. All right, I'm gonna move down. Boom. That guy right there. Boom. Move myself, and I'm gonna attack this guy. Help the werewolf people out.
Okay.
Do my diligence.
Due diligence.
Due diligence. Just with. We'll start with a punch.
Okay. Swing out a fist, connecting with him. He is sent back reeling after the claw attack from the nearby werewolf and your punch combined.
We're gonna do a kick this time. Yeah. Mix it up a little bit.
Okay. Swing out your talon, connecting with the back of his head. His hair flips around. One might say back and forth.
Oh no. Kill it quickly.
Oh god. There's only one thing I can do now. Looking for.
Used flurry of blows up here when you meant to do a attack. If you're going to flurry of blows again, just do an unarmed strike so it doesn't use your key point.
Oh, okay. I was actually gonna do a stunning strike on this guy.
Okay.
To stop
You can
that
do
hair
both.
moving back and forth.
Okay. Then I will roll a Constitution saving throw.
Do I still click on it?
I think it used your key point for flurry of blows. He rolled a 9. He is
Ooh,
stunned.
wow.
Which one is stunned?
That hardly ever works.
It's one of the few things. Guy between.
That looks like stunned. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah,
boom.
boom.
Nailed it.
Look at them swirly stars. Okay. Did you want? You still have a bonus action available though.
Oh. And you know what that means?
Yes. Probably.
A punch.
This one?
If you're thinking a punch, stop there. You struck gold.
Okay.
Nope. Stop. I want to strike this man.
You get advantage?
Okay. Yes, you do get advantage. I don't know why I didn't roll with advantage, but if you hit that plus sign there, it'll just roll a second one. Yeah.
Oh.
27 does hit.
Nice.
Click to apply full damage. Boom. 7 damage as you punch this stunned and now reeling creature. Anything else for your turn?
No. I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. I feel safe. I got 2 werewolves.
This guy is going to take off, jump up to the 2nd floor, and you hear him rushing off somewhere in that direction.
Howard?
He is moving really fast, by the way. It looks like he has a lot of movement speed.
That is unfortunate.
This guy is stunned, so Lane, you are up.
He's not going anywhere.
Aha.
I am going to cast, knowing that they have been keeping vampires here for a while to experiment on them. I am gonna cast Hold Person. Ooh, does that work on Undead? Are they at person? I don't think. Hold on, let me see the spell. I think it does.
I don't think so, because I
Humanoid.
think there's hold.
Yeah. There's Hold Undead. I don't think there's Hold Undead.
There's hold monster.
There's a hold monster.
Bastard. So I can't hold them. So I am going to cast.
I don't know if you can't hold. It says a humanoid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I don't know if they count
that
as a
counts,
humanoid. Yeah, that's got to be a person type race.
Yeah,
Like a werewolf?
humanoid. Jeremy Crawford said undead is a different type, not humanoid.
Yeah. So I can't use that, right?
Yeah, you can't use
Need
it on
hold
that.
monster.
Yeah, you would have to.
Okay. Well.
Jeremy Crawford ain't here. Oh, sorry. He
Let's
better not be.
But in spirit.
let's cast let's use 5 charges of the holy symbol of Ravenkind and cast Sunlight.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
where's that come down at?
Off of the symbol.
How far down does it go
Uh,
again?
I will show you in a second.
There you go.
It goes that far out.
Boom.
We
That
are
is
glowing
way too
beacon of
far.
hope right now.
Okay, as Lane lifts the holy symbol up and focuses her energy into it, it starts to glow with a bright and radiant energy. And then above you in the sky, the clouds start to part,
Ooh.
and a bright ray of sunlight shines down on the Abbey, illuminating everything. You see the werewolves, including Zuleika, all stop and look up at the sky, amazed, while the vampires stop and look up at the sky in fear.
And twinkle.
And start to sparkle.
Piggin?
So that's how you spell pigeon, right?
No.
Oh no, it's pigeon. Oh, listen, there's an application that was like for like multiple messengers in one called Pigeon, and it's spelled that way. And for whatever reason, I've spelled it that way ever since. Okay, that's cool. So that'll end my turn.
Okay.
If I click this button, right?
Yes. This one out here, still horrified, still running away.
Is he in the sunlight?
Yes. Yes, but that does not affect how quickly it is going to run away.
Just, it does
But
affect it. I
it'll-
think it'll run faster.
Yeah, but
Actually,
Gains
wait,
strength,
sorry.
gains speed.
Oh gosh.
Does damage to him.
Yeah, it does do damage to him. You're right. I'm sorry, I'd misread part of that. So, it is going to take damage from the sunlight. It is still out of here.
Whole new
This
type of
guy
beer.
also begins burning from the sun. He is going to take off too, actually. He doesn't want any of that shit. So he is action
Can I?
dashing away. Yes.
Do I get an
Ooh, I get to hit him,
opportunity?
too.
attack?
Yes, you both get opportunity attacks. Actually, I'm going to wait until Steven rolls too because he has Sentinel. Or is that only for the Sentinel opportunity? Oh, it's for opportunity attacks in general.
Yeah, I'll use my
Nakari.
sentinel attack so he can just come right back. Fuck him.
As your attack swings out, Nakari, it misses. Lane throws her sensor out, wraps around his neck, and she pulls him back as he tries to run away. Do you get to Divine Strike? Is just one's
Oh,
unused turn.
on your turn.
Yeah, it's on your turn, so it doesn't count. Well, shit, since he can't move, he's got to fight, and he is gonna swing at control for disadvantage, yeah? At disadvantage towards Lane. Oh no.
He hit the other vampire.
He hit it. He literally, yeah, the marks literally went on the other ones.
He is gonna take,
Oh, you got healed.
no he didn't. That didn't do right. Hold on. He swings out towards you. His first attack, Lane, that is a natural 1, so he's going to strike into your symbol, and it is going to hurt him. And he is going to do the exact same thing again. And he is looking rough and scared right now. Zuleika is really just gonna stare in awe.
Oh no.
All of the werewolves are kind of just amazed right now. They look stunned.
They haven't
Harkem.
seen sunlight in like 40 years. Oh, that's me.
Never. They were born here.
I will shoot my last arrow at the one next to my brother. My last fiery arrow.
Okay.
With advantage because he's stunned. Why do I have a short bow? Where's my... There it is. Damn.
Okay. It strikes into him. You want to do sneak attack?
Yeah, I do. That's balls.
Sometimes it's nuts, so I don't want to say what happens to him until I see it. The fire bursts off from him, and the gust of wind makes the fire surround him. He's looking rough.
All whales from the grave, that one over there, then. Nope.
Okay.
That's not the right one, apparently. There it is. Oh, he's resistant too.
He also seems a little resistant to the necrotic damage.
Son of a bitch.
Just when you think you know a guy.
I'm gonna fly down to that level.
Okay.
A little bit over here, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I don't know where the tracker went. There it is.
Okay. This vampire here, she is going to first get burned by the sun for a pretty substantial amount, and then she is going to action dash out.
Bye.
She's gone. She's gone. This one, here. He looks pretty starved. He's gonna wildly attack anyway.
Oh.
That is an 11 to hit, Lane, and a, yeah, they gotta stop rolling, I think.
Where?
Natural 1.
Break yourselves upon my body.
The magic off of your amulet once again flaring off into one of these creatures.
Where's that one?
Nakara, you're up. Where's
Finally,
what?
the dice
Where's
rolls
that
in our
vampire?
favor.
He is right there. Oh, you
Right
may not be
here?
able to see him because the wall here.
Oh, okay.
Nakara, you were up.
I'm gonna attack this guy right here. Take a step forward. And...
Sorry, I got a cat tangling up in my headset cord here. She is biting me now because I'm trying to untangle her.
Just want your love.
Just wants
Well,
your
I'm
love.
fine with that, but she just rolled around until she's wrapped the cord around herself twice. I don't want her to choke. Sorry. As you swing out your axe, cleaving into this dying vampire creature that had formerly tried to escape, it finishes it off, and you step over it. What do you want to do?
Oh, damn.
I did my second attack on this guy already.
Okay. It strikes into him, leaving him almost completely dead, but still hanging in there.
That's my turn.
This werewolf gonna be also amazed at the sunlight. Ra, you are up.
Oh boy. Well, there's this guy just kind of hanging out here, looking a little dazed.
Very
Just
deep.
gonna.
Does that continue on
Till the end of his
Oh.
turn.
to the end of his turn?
His turn.
End of
yeah.
his next. End of your.
Ra's turn, yeah.
Yeah, end of Ra's next turn.
Yes.
Okay.
So I get to strike him with advantage. So it's a
Yes.
shift click,
Yeah.
right?
Click.
Ooh,
A lot of
nice.
dice. Oh!
Natural 20 as you punch forward, striking into him. Your fist caves in the side of his skull, and as you pull your fist back, his body falls into the snow.
And I harvest a sliver of his soul.
Okay, well, now that I have the taste of blood, I need to, just gonna
Why
move,
is it Kelly?
move across this corpse. And,
Okay.
can I move?
Right here.
Yep.
Step over
And-
the corpse of the nearby vampire.
I like to do it, I like to think I do it
Wait,
with
Fighting forward.
like a no-handed cartwheel type style. Fair, fancy.
Oh, okay, nice. You do
I am
like
a
a little,
monk, right?
little cartwheel over the top of him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The most showy, unnecessary thing ever, the no-handed cartwheel.
In rear back and assault this other vampire.
Okay. Swing
Almost.
out with your fist as you do. How do you want to do this?
I like to think, because he's, I don't know if he's turn around or whatever. I like to think I punch through him, grab his heart.
Oh my god.
Okay.
After the showboaty move, I killed one person.
After you
Showboat.
cartwheel over this other corpse, you swing your fist forward, and Nakari, from your side, you see this feathery fist come out with this dark and dead, rotted, and decayed heart of this vampire in
Oh
its
my
grasp, and then
God.
he pulls it back out and drops the body to the ground.
Finish him.
And that brings us to the end of combat. The werewolves of the Abbey,
Yay.
completely distracted
This
from
lasts for
the
10
vampires
minutes.
that were escaping as they stare up into the sunlight.
I'm just gonna leave it up for the entire 10 minutes.
I'm gonna bask in the sun. I haven't seen it in a while. Oh, that's why I've been rolling so well. It's because the sun's on me.
Lane, as you look up on the balcony at Zuleika and around at the other werewolves, you see something. It's not really easy to spot because you're not very familiar with werewolves, but you're quite certain it looks like tears forming in their eyes. As they hold their hands out in the sunlight.
Just because it seems cool, can I like teleport up next to Zuleika?
Okay.
And just I can't really move myself up there, but I just want to say to her, we're here to help. You don't have to hide things from us. And I'll put my arm like around her shoulders and look up at the sun with her.
Okay, she doesn't seem to mind the closeness
Intimate
of the
touching.
gesture. And she looks towards you, kind of amazed, and looks at the amulet on your neck. and then looks up at the sun with you as well. After a moment, she says, "My first instinct was that perhaps you were working with them, but there's no way an agent of Strahd could do something like this."
I mean, Strahd himself did it, but
She don't know that. You don't know that.
In Elaine's old wrinkled elven face, she'll like
Ew.
smile a little bit and just kind of nod.
He's got an even bigger god complex now.
The werewolves down there, after a moment, start to look around at everything. Occasionally they cast glances up at the sun, but they seem to start focusing now on what's going on around in the courtyard.
They snap out of it, man. There might be more.
They start looking at the bodies of their fallen guards and looking around at the cells. Zuleika looks down from the balcony. "What is it? What do you see?" "They've all been unlocked. All of these doors, they're just unlocked. The chains, they're not held together. Someone just let them go."
Who had access to those keys?
"Only a few of us guards have access to the keys. Of myself and Zuleika has access to them, and Oren has access to the keys, but I don't see him out here anywhere." He looks across the courtyard to the other werewolf in the one wearing the robes without weapons. He says, "Where's Oren? Did he come out with you?" No. He looks back into the room where him and another werewolf had been previously. I don't know where he is."
Strahd's influence seems a bit stronger than we thought. If a werewolf can turn on werewolves.
"Would be a dark day indeed." He starts walking past you. He pushes the one in the robes out of the way and makes his way into the building. After a moment, you hear some shouts, some growls. He drags you see him dragging one of the other werewolves in robes out, and he throws him into the snow. "Did you do this? Did you let them go?" No, I promise. I would never." "Where are your keys?"
Is that one of the werewolves that was in there with me?
"Yes."
I'm gonna kind of walk over there too, where he drug him out and threw him in the snow. He was in the building the whole time. I was in there too.
He looks at you, and then he looks down at Orem. Where are your keys? Show them to me now." He fumbles around in his robes for a minute, and he seems to get caught, and then he starts to panic. But he finally produces a ring of keys. He says, "See, I've got them right here. They broke free. It's terrifying. What are we to do?" And the guard looks around at all of you. "They were willing to fight for your home more than you." He snatches the keys away from him.
Do I believe him?
Give me an insight check.
Insight is no longer proficiency. Why is that?
Well, why'd you do
That's
that?
not right.
Can you mark it?
18.
Okay. He's probably a scared coward. He seems a lot like a cowardly person. Then who let him out?
Can I go
I
examine the
don't know.
locks while they talk?
Sure. Give me
Do I see if I see any like telltale signs of it being picked or something? If I can.
give me a perception check. As you look over the locks.
22.
22. Can't really tell for certain if they've been picked. They definitely were cleanly unlocked. So if they were picked, whoever did this would have to be really, really good at it.
I'll go back.
The guard grabs the one in the robes and he looks up towards Zuleika, and Zuleika just kind of closes her eyes and nods at him. He takes him off into the building.
Can I
We'll deal
stop
with
them?
this. How would you like to stop them?
I'll just grab the one trying to move him.
Okay.
Hey, now, I mean, without any proof, where does this get us? No need to go too harsh on the lad.
Give me
Oh
give me a
god,
persuasion check.
I'm not good at that. We've been
You
banned.
got this.
10.
10. He needs to learn a lesson. He's gonna get his stuff, and he's gonna get out of this abbey. And he's not welcome back. We don't have room for cowards here.
Oh, okay. That's fair then. I thought it was because of the lock thing, but yeah.
And he drags him off into the abbey, and you hear a bunch of shouting from inside. What's everyone doing?
I'll let them know what I saw with the locks and what I could read on them. Well, I'll let the two near me know. Let Jesus up there have his moment.
Part in the water. Oh, Moses, actually. Part in the clouds, right? Can I say to Zuleika, there was something that you weren't telling us in there. At least that's what I could... That's how I felt, anyways. Do you care to elaborate more on kind of what's happening here? What you found, at least? Maybe it's something you actually found.
I do have something that I have found. A possible link. Do not know how strong it is, but I'm hoping to find a way to weaponize it against Strahd. I didn't say anything to you or your friends because I do not know how Raylan would feel about this.
Yes, you do.
But I think it is a solution that we greatly need.
Well, is there anything we can do to help? I'm here to find a soul, so if it helps us find souls or destroy Strahd so that it releases the souls, I need to find the Raven Queen's champion and return his soul to where it belongs.
I do not know who this champion could be or was, but I wish you the best of luck in finding them.
Well, at the very least, you could help us kill Strahd. Then, if this link is maybe something that's worth investigating, maybe we can help.
I would gladly assist you in fighting Strahd, and I would even help you with a weapon if I'm able to make one. However, at the current juncture, she looks down at the courtyard of the Abbey with the vampires' bodies spread across the courtyard, and she says, "I'm unfortunately out of test subjects."
Let's see. If I can, I don't. Okay, so like I don't know. This probably isn't gonna work. I probably can't do this, but it's probably been a few minutes too, so I can't bring one back. Could I maybe like? This is gonna sound maybe this probably isn't gonna work, but could I like
Okay.
use animate dead to bring one? I probably can't use animate dead to bring one back, right?
They would only come back as a zombie. They wouldn't retain their vampire
Damn.
form. Yeah.
Well, guess we're gonna go catch a
Can you
vampire then.
can you use animate dead on an undead?
I don't
know.
believe so. Well, you can use undead or animate dead on a corpse.
Yeah, on a corpse.
You can use it on
okay.
any corpse, so it doesn't specify. As long as there's enough to make a zombie or skeleton from.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
you could do it with bones. Because I remember that
Yeah,
video of
bones,
the guy
yeah.
making a bone thing and using it.
Well, if you could bring any of his coven here, unfortunately, we've only ever been able to capture these wild and feral ones, but I assure you, within his castle, or in his inner circle, he has those that are probably closer to his actual blood, and a more pure specimen would yield better results.
Well, that sounds damn near fucking impossible.
I do agree. I would not ask you to attempt to do something as foolish as go into Castle Ravenloft. Can't imagine anyone escapes from there alive.
Sounds like Demon Slayer.
I was about to say that.
I only watched one episode, so I don't know.
I don't think I'm at that part yet.
Yeah, you are. He's got to get the blood of the people closest to
Oh yeah.
him and vampire.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Hey, I'm a top tier anime writer, and I didn't even know it.
Well, we'll see what we can do. I'm sure parting the clouds really set off some alarm bells somewhere. Maybe they'll come to
He's
us.
got cloud alarms throughout his castle. Sector 7, alarm. Sector 7, alarm.
I do imagine that something so grand would definitely bring his attention. And she kind of looks up there, the parted clouds. As you said, 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
They probably start to fade away by now. The mist once again rolls over the sky, and the sunlight fades.
Well,
She looks
we'll
down
bring
into the
back something.
court. She looks down into the courtyard. She says, "Where are all the other guards, though?"
Oh, they're dead.
How many were here? I counted 4. How many were here at the Abbey?
We have 11
Oh,
personnel here altogether.
Yeah, there was significantly less than 11. No, maybe not significantly. Yeah, significantly. More than half. I don't know.
She starts to walk over across the balcony. Oh, and out through the wall. And she opens up a door here. Lane, you smell this scent of cooked meats come out from the door.
Ooh.
Kind of overwhelming, or replacing the horrible scent of blood that fills the courtyard. And she calls in there, Bulk, are you okay in there? After a moment, you see I can't grab him for some reason. There we go. See a werewolf wearing a apron and a chef's hat with a pot in his hand step out. Oh, I heard the alarm. Is everything okay? Everything's fine, Volk. Go back to cooking dinner. And she just pats him on the shoulder and closes the door. Well, that's one.
That's a top priority. Check on the chef.
Check on the cook.
It was the
fight.
closest door.
Oh God, gotta make sure my chef's okay.
Can I go up there
Yeah.
with her and like look in all these
Priority
doors?
number 2.
Because I want to be nosy.
Yeah, sure. You can follow around.
Can I go
What's everyone down
back
there
in-
doing?
I want to go back in this store.
I want to ask Harkem, that's blood that got spit on you. How did that feel?
You're gonna ask Harkam?
Or no, yes. You know what? I am gonna ask myself, and after I ask myself, I'll ask Ra. Ra, how did that gross blood feel?
Well,
The werewolf doesn't know those names.
what do you mean by gross blood?
That vampire spits blood on you.
You know,
I don't feel like that was a hard question.
well, you know, I really, oh, I didn't mean to do that. No, nothing that crazy. You know, just I brushed right off my feathers.
Almost
You know.
poison-like, if you will.
You know, it did. Might have lost a couple feathers, but
I'm gonna search his body, see if I can find what is making that blood, and if I can get a sample of it.
this
The
is my no square.
A nice little blood sack, if you will.
Sure. Give me
I was
a
gonna ask Nakari, but she left.
give me a medicine check.
Oh, with advantage.
Is Ra helping you?
Yep.
Sure, he said, kind of. Go ahead and roll with advantage, then I'll allow it this time. What is that? 13. No, unfortunately, you're unable to figure out how it's able to propel that blood out or exactly where the source is, because really a lot of the internal mechanism seems like it's bloody.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of gross inside
It's
altogether.
very gross.
Lane, Zuleika takes you upstairs. You pass by a dining, or by what looks like an armory, and then a dining hall. She checks open these 3 different bedrooms that they don't look like they're anything amazing, just fairly basic necessities, and then takes you. No, he's dead. Why is he moving?
Oh no.
You know, they get a little.
He was playing. He was faking.
He's
Yeah.
freaking dead. As you make your way down the stairs, you see the corpse of one of the guards here in the hallway. Zuleika rushes forward, presses her hand against its neck, and looks down the hall. Some of the doors down the hallway appear to be open, and all the way at the end, the door of this building is open.
Are these the 2 that was fighting in here?
This is the guard and the one in the robes who seems to be gathering up a lot of stuff and sticking it into a bag, quietly looking down at the floor. And the other one's just kind of sitting there with his arms crossed.
Ooh.
So they're not really paying attention to me.
Not particularly. He glanced at you as you came in, but he looked back at him.
I want to go down this.
Oh, okay. You're gonna go down the cellar?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to attempt to sneak down there or just walk down there?
I'm just walking down.
Okay. As you start to walk down there, he is going to hear you and turn around and say, "Whoa, where are you going?"
seeing if there's any more down here.
Good idea. He kind of nods and turns back. Okay. So you come down here. It is you see two small tables on either edge of the room, filled with various implements, different sharp objects. On the table in the center of the room, it seems completely and heavily stained with blood, as well as the floor around it. There are some buckets and barrels on the corner of the wall, as well as what appear to be several manacles chained to the wall. But you do not see any vampires in here.
Is this a barrel of water?
Yes, it is a barrel of water.
Mhm.
So you come back up, he turns towards you. Anything down there?
No, just an empty room.
Oh, okay. Thanks. He turns back around. Lane, what would you like to do over here?
Can I see what killed him?
Give me a medicine check.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, medicine.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, a 26. Looking over this body, it was definitely not killed by a vampire. You see what appears to be, at first it looks like one really large slash, but then you notice it looks like it's actually two blades that seem almost to curve in towards each other.
Oh no.
Has cut into him here and then sliced out as it was pulled out.
Oh,
leaving
so
this
like
very
stabbed in the
large-
middle?
Yes, kind of like a really weird shaped blade that just stabbed into him and then was ripped out and caused a lot of damage. Looking over this, looking over this wound, it looks like he was brought down by this one single hit, and around the edges of the wound are these traces of dark discoloration, leading you to believe that there was definitely some kind of very powerful poison involved.
Did he get killed from the front or the back?
Looks like he was stabbed in the back.
Poison? Where?
Stabbed in the back. Fuck. Okay. I will relay that information to Zuleika and say, he was probably assassinated. But I would like to see if there are any more bodies and potentially come back to him and talk to him if we don't find anything else. It looks like he was stabbed in the back, so I don't know if it's gonna make any sense, if he's gonna know anything, but...
Assassinated? What do you mean? Just someone came in here and killed him. What do you mean talk to him?
Oh, yeah, well, we will,
then-
something we've
Well,
mastered.
Oh, shut up.
mastered. I did it one time, guys.
I mean,
Clearly
Lane's
an
1,000 years
expert.
old or so, I don't
Yeah,
know, a couple
yeah,
hundred years
fair.
old. She's done it many times.
Okay. She says, well, I guess we'll start with these rooms that are sitting open. She moves forward.
Yeah.
Inside, you see what looks like a small cot and a small foot locker. Doesn't really look like an amazing room, but otherwise it looks empty completely. Moving for a little further down, you do see the body of another guard here laying next to his bed. It appears as if his throat has been slit open.
Oh, God.
Beyond him, you see light flecks of snow falling in through the open window.
Ooh. We should probably get the others. They can help. I think Hardcam is kind of good at this. But can I go over the window and look and see if I can? Wait, what's my? No, I don't know. I don't have good investigation. Yeah, somebody else can do this. Somebody else can look. Actually, nobody's smart. Fuck, what are we gonna do?
I'm
All right.
very smart. Fuck off.
Excuse me. It's part of my race to be very intelligent.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are both mildly intelligent. What's your intellect
Relatively.
score?
That's a great question.
12.
Not you. We don't care about you.
Oh well, it's 10.
You're not smart then. I'm the smart one.
But my wisdom's 16, so yeah.
All right, so we should get the
Zuleika
others.
says, if you want to get the others, I'm going to make sure that there aren't any more of these bodies like this. And she begins walking down the hallway.
Oh yeah, I'll follow. Make sure and check too.
Okay. As she goes out the back door of the Abbey, she stops as she looks to either side of the door. A look of sheer horror crosses her face for a moment, and then she calms herself, and she says, "There's 2 more out here." And as you come out, these 2
Oh god.
on either side here appear to have they don't appear to have any kind of stab wounds on them. Instead, it looks like burn marks across their fur, leaving these black scorches almost on their body.
Oh, that's completely different than the stab wounds. These were. Was it magic or is it just like burns? Am I able
You
to
give me a
tell?
medicine check
Fuck
for
yeah,
them?
dude. You want 2 or just 1?
Just one for both of them. You want 2 medicine checks?
28
17.
stab wounds.
This is definitely from some kind of magic. It looks like severe magic burns over a lot of both of their bodies.
Well, we can talk with all of them, one at a time. 5 questions each.
Who does number 2 work
I'll
for?
continue. I guess we're gonna go check these other buildings in the back. So I'll continue with her if she's gonna continue looking at other things.
You're not coming through.
I was muted, sorry. She was
Oh
saying,
my
well,
god.
or she had said, well, let's go get your friends then.
Should we not check these other 2?
I don't know if anyone would be hiding in the greenhouses, but we can check.
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fair.
Good.
Yeah, let's check it. Let's check it just to be safe.
Yeah,
Oh, look at all those
very safe.
cabbages.
What'll happen if we find them both? I'm
Look
sure
at all those
nothing bad.
pumpkins, dude. They got good food here.
Poison and giant gouts of fire? I'm sure I'll be alright.
Okay. Lane and Zuleika come back out to the courtyard to get Harkem and Ra, who are out here. Nakari, are you staying in there?
Just like
or...
feather deep in blood.
I'm in here trying to like talk him into letting this guy stay.
Oh, okay. How would you like to pose that to him?
I'll start by asking the question if he was like really good with his research.
I was pretty good. I was doing good. You can ask Zuleika. Shut up. It doesn't matter how good you were.
Well, sometimes that's someone's strength instead of fighting.
He was a coward, though. He was too afraid to defend his brothers. Do we need someone like that around us?
Have you ever fought before? I'll ask this guy.
Only for hunts, but not vampires.
Then maybe you should work with him and help get his confidence up. Maybe help him instead of just sending him away.
Give me a persuasion check.
With advantage, because I softened him up earlier?
With advantage, because he kind of softened him up a little, I'll say. I don't know if 10s are real soft.
And it's shift for.
Shift for advantage. Yep.
Double 12.
17. Double 17. He put the other guy looking down at his bag, all kind of sad.
Aw.
Looks over at the guard as you say this to him, and the guard looks over towards him. And he says, "All right, Oren. You can stay, but you're starting training with all of the guards tomorrow, bright and early in the morning."
Training never hurt anyone.
And the guy in the robes looks a little like uncertain if he's one or not. Okay, thank you.
Coming
Thank
from the
you.
train master herself.
I'm gonna finish my little drawing that I was doing in the book and walk out.
In their book.
Yeah, in their book. They didn't draw it very well. She has to fix it.
Okay. You want to give me a check with your painter's supplies just to see how well you do?
Sure. Why did that not come on there? Inventory, painter supply.
Ooh.
Okay. It's pretty good. Pretty good picture. Fairly accurate of a vampire's anatomy. And the guy in the robes looks a little amazed. Doesn't say a word about it. First he's kind of like, oh. Wow. As you come out to the courtyard, Harkem his hands are both completely covered in this dark red blood as he is rooting around inside the body of one of these vampires, and Ra stands over him pointing, "Maybe try that." No, check there.
That is a
doesn't look
great
right.
picture.
And Elaine and Zuleika come out from the other door.
What are you doing, Harkin?
Looking for poison. I thought I could use the blood, but I can't find it. I can't find where they emitted from. There should be
Well,
just like a sack, right?
Well, there's a book on vampires in there. Maybe they've came across one of these before, and he's in it.
That might have helped.
If I hear that, I probably hear that, right? We're coming out. Can I look at the body and see if I can find the zombie's sack?
Sorry. The one that Harkem has been searching through seems to be kind of a lost cause at this point. But you can check one of the other ones if you'd like to give me a medicine check.
That one is gone.
Oh my god, that was an 18.
25. Okay. You are able to find the organ that it seems to inflate kind of like a balloon almost, and then expel this blood from. It seems to be that this sack is quite full. This is a full blood sack here.
Full
Oh
blood
god.
sack.
He's got a full blood sack that he uses to inflate this organ here.
You found the sack.
And as Lane pulls this sack out, that's where we're going to take a break. I think that's a good time. We'll be back. Okay, so as we return, Lane, having successfully retrieved this organ from the vampire that it was able to use to expel copious amounts of necrotic, poisonous blood out towards you. You giving this to Harkem?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll flop
I
it
mean,
down in
unless
his
you want to
hands.
keep it.
Okay.
I'll wrap it up in something and put it in my bag.
Okay.
We found some bodies. A few other bodies that weren't out here fighting these. There's 4 of them, right? So, like, I don't remember. There's 4 of them.
Yes, there were
One in
4.
one in the hall, 2 in the hall, 2 out back. One of so 2 of them got stabbed, right? One of them most likely in his sleep. The other 2 had magical burns on them. The 2 that got stabbed seem to have been the one was in the sleep, the other one got stabbed at his back, so I don't think they'll have seen anything. Perhaps we should ask one of them or all of them if they saw anything.
The one who was in his room, he did have his armor halfway on. Like he seemed to have started to get ready.
But didn't you say his throat got slit though?
Yes, his throat did get slit though.
So it wasn't like a slash that was coming from the front though. It would have been like a dagger coming from
I'm using your same medicine check from the other one. It looked like whoever stabbed it or cut him probably could have done it from the front or back. It's kind of hard to tell.
Oh, okay.
So it could have been either or.
So I think that one is worth looking at, the one in the room, and then probably both in the back. I think we should talk with them. Also, Harkem, you should probably check the window. I don't know if you can. The window's open. I don't know if there's anything you can tell from that, how they open the window or something. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff.
I'll go look if he points it out.
I will point it. There's a body in the room, so it's kind of hard to miss. I'll go with them though, because I want to talk to the corpse.
There. That puts us in the room, except for Ra, who's right here. This is the room, yeah. Okay.
Is it? I don't see a body.
Yes. It's under Harkem. Yeah.
I still don't see it. But either way.
Use your mind power.
Yeah. I will.
But
Let's see. Let me write down my questions.
Do
okay.
I see any telltale signs of B&E?
Give me an investigation check as you check around this window.
Nice, 23.
23. Does not appear as if anything was done to the lock on this window. It seems like it was just unlocked and opened. You're checking around to see if there's anything around the windowsill, though, that might show signs of a tool slipping in. You don't see anything like that, but you do see just beyond the window, off the ledge, it looks like faint footprints in the snow. Just 2 of them, probably about 10, 15 feet out, about 20 feet down. Just a set that's quickly disappearing in the snow.
Can I fly out the window real quick and take a look around where they're heading?
Sure.
See if I see anyone.
Give me a perception check as you fly out the window and begin looking around.
22.
Okay, 22. Flying out the window and down over this little valley, you see that first set of footprints, which is pretty far out from the window, and you try to see if there are any before that might lead you in a specific direction as to where they're going, but you don't see any before that, and then it's another 15, 20 feet before you find what looks like it was a footprint at one point, but then it gets really lost as it goes off into the woods, and you're just not able to find any more.
I'll go back in and let them know I saw footprints that way.
Okay.
They definitely came in here.
I'm gonna switch places with Rob, and I'm gonna just kind of walk down the hall.
Okay. Did you prepare your questions, Lee?
I did prepare my questions.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question I want to ask is who attacked you?
Okay, so you is this is a ritual spell, or
This
is
is
it?
is it a ritual spell? If it's a ritual spell, then I should prepare
I
this.
don't
I
know.
don't think
Does
it
it have
is.
the ritual tag?
No, it does not.
Okay. Um, so you reach out with your energies and breathe life into the corpse of this werewolf. Um, it starts to raise up against the wall, still slumped in a seated position. The throat gurgles a little bit as it starts to speak, and then it looks at you, its eyes intent and focused.
I will say, who attacked you?
I am not sure who she was.
She. Okay, so it's a female. She. What did she look like?
Covered in bandages.
Oh fuck. It's not a mummy, by the way. Maybe it is. I don't know.
It could be.
How did they get in here?
I point
Through
out
the
the window.
Okay, yeah, fair. Burn
Hey.
that one.
They came in the door as I was
Oh, in the door?
awaking for the alarm, and he raises his arm up and points towards his door.
Oh, okay. That's different. That's unexpected.
Did the footprints look like they were heading toward the window or away from the window?
Away from the window.
Ah,
Oh,
they left through the
okay.
window.
We got ourselves a murder mystery. Okay. Did they say anything?
Yeah.
She didn't speak.
Assassins usually tell you something before they kill you.
Yeah, she didn't have a catchphrase. No, that's not a question. That's not a question that I'm posing. The last question. I have one more question.
Who does number 2 work for?
The last question, Zuleika, you can ask it. I don't know anything else to ask him. I'm out of question.
Zuleika looks over at him. Is there anything you'd like to say to your wife?
Oh, that's a fucking good one. Shit.
I mean,
He
it doesn't help
he
us.
looks over towards Zuleika. Tell her I love her and that I died with honor. And then his spirit fades away from his body. His body falls to the floor.
I don't want to ruin a perfect moment, but did he really die with honor? He was kind of stabbed in bed.
Yeah.
You know what?
At least he was trying, other than the
yeah.
guy in the corner.
Like I said, he died with his weapon in his hand answering the call. We could all be so lucky.
I don't want to be that lucky.
And she lifts his corpse up and places it on the bed there. Should we speak with the others?
Yes, we should.
Okay. Nakari, as you get out here, you see the badly burnt corpses of these two werewolves. As you come out here, though, and you look at them, you have a flash of images that fly through your head rapidly. These bright purple beams of energy flying out from this Valech woods and assaulting your carriage, streaking into you and these others, these shadowy figures that you can't make out that are around you, but you know they're fighting by your side as these beams fly out from the woods from an unseen force you catch yourself saying the name. Galadesh.
Galadesh. He's the worst one.
He is.
Kept pushing us off the carriage and shit. We couldn't even see him.
Lane, as you come out here, Nakari is looking over the corpses of the werewolves.
Well, I guess nothing really to it. We'll cast Speak with Dead. Maybe if we only do one of these. I mean, the injuries are the same. I don't know if we'd get different information out of both of them.
Zulek points at the one next to her, and she says, he had a son.
Oh.
Oh.
You know, we will talk to all of them, and if the only question we ask is what their last words to their family are, then it'll be worth it.
It's a great kindness you do to them.
Yeah, so I'll say to this one, wow, that was like really dismissive. Oh fuck. I'll say to this one, same questions basically. Who attacked you?
Okay. As you breathe life
Why
into
do
it.
I say that one?
I feel
Why
like
did I
they're
write that
redundant
one?
by
They don't
now.
know that one. Yeah, they don't know that
Are you,
one.
are you
No, this
asking
one's
him
easy.
that one? Are you
No,
asking him that
I'm
one?
not gonna
Okay.
ask that one. They don't know who
Okay.
these people
Just
are.
ask them what happened.
What happened to you here? Good idea.
There was a man in the garden, and he had magic. He attacked me.
Oh man. Okay. Did you see where he came from?
No, I was patrolling, and I had just walked past there, and looked back, and he was suddenly there.
Interesting. Can you describe the person that attacked you?
A terrifying image of horrors. An undead being like nothing I have ever witnessed.
Well, that really doesn't help me very much, but okay. Did the person say anything to you?
His laugh. His laughter was that of pure joy.
Aw.
Is there anything you want us to say to your family?
Tell my son to be strong for the pack. His spirit starts to fade away.
Okay.
So there are two powerful culprits.
Yeah, maybe obviously working together. With a pack of vampires, I mean, can only be Strahd's. Maybe the people that Zuleika was talking about, Strahd's, I forget, what did you call them? I don't know. His family members, close family members.
His
His
agents.
agents.
Nakari, roll a history check for me.
Inventory.
Is your history in your inventory?
Aw.
2. Almost a 20. You hear this really chilling and terrifying laughter within your head, Nikari. You recognize that this sound is at least attached to this name. But that's all you recall.
As Lane starts talking to them outside, I'm just gonna start summoning Oseos up to the Abbey.
Okay.
It takes 10 minutes.
Okay. Zuleika is going to kind of just start placing the weapons of the bodies kind of on top of them, folding their arms in. Have to get them inside, prepared for the pyre.
I'm just doing this to burn the slots so that we can get their last words.
Okay. Are you doing it to all of the other ones?
Yep. So there's
Okay.
only 4. There was 4 dead, right?
Let's see. Hold on.
Oh,
Sorry. Did I moved you out?
I'm on the wall.
Didn't need to. There are 2 that were also dead in the courtyard.
Oh, well. You know, like, I really enjoy doing these nice things, but, you know, my spell slots are fucking kind of
It's up to you which
precious.
ones you wanted to talk to and which ones you wanted to use.
Maybe
from.
maybe the ones with kids is who I'll get their last words from. So I'll use, like, I don't know how many more there are with kids or something.
Well, the only
But-
other one with family is it would be Koten. He was found in the courtyard. The vampires were eating him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's
Wow.
Raven Queen. That's not Jesus Christ.
So having kids makes them more important than people without kids? It's fucked up.
Well, he said
Yeah.
with family.
With family. Like, what are their last words? Fuck, that sucked. Go tell, I don't know.
I should have done more with my life.
Or I don't know, like I enjoyed
I'm
working
not
with you,
ready.
Zuleika. Thank you for everything you've given to me. I rest
They might.
peacefully knowing I served you.
She can infer that from them being alive and serving her. I will go and find the one with family and cast Speak with Dead on him, and that'll be my last one. So that's all.
Okay.
That was 3 Speak with Deads.
Yes.
Us
Okay.
loners have feelings too.
I'm gonna move everyone over here so I can move them to the courtyard. Nope. What was that?
Oh, that's a full building? Damn. It's gonna take a carrot.
Are you gonna grab a carrot real quick?
If I
Unless you,
can. It looked like a full building though, right?
Yeah. I mean, they've got a lot of vegetables over there. If you want to try and grab one through the window real quick, give me
Oh,
a
fuck yeah.
plate of hand check.
We should get breakfast, right?
Well,
No,
they
you
got
got
a goddamn
breakfast.
chef.
Oh, it's almost a 20.
23. You managed to slide open the window, grab a quick vegetable real quick. As you pull it out, looks like a beet.
Ew, I wanted a carrot.
Uh,
I eat it anyway, stealthily, obviously.
okay, stealthily eat the carrot. You see this bit of kind of reddish coloration to the edges of Harkem's beak.
It's the blood.
As you make it back out here and bring this werewolf to life, you have 5 questions as his corpse animates.
I will. Wait, he was getting eaten by vampires. Oh, he said the locks were.
Ask him if he saw who opened the doors.
Yeah, exactly. But they said they were lockpicked, right?
No, I saw no signs of it.
Oh. I will ask him who opened the doors.
Ah, a creature. It moved so quick. It rushed from cell to cell, stripping chains away in an instant, and I tried to stop it.
Man. Gotta up my lockpick game.
Was she in bandages?
A creature wrapped in bandages, yes.
Fuck. She's good.
Hmm. Did she say anything while she was opening the cages? Did she say anything to the other vampires? To the vampires?
I didn't hear anything. I rushed to stop her, and he points to his chest, and there are a lot of wounds all over his body, but seeing the other marks from the daggers, you can see, or the blade that had cut into the other two, you can make out the heavy jab right in his chest that would have punctured straight through to his heart.
Is there anything you'd like to say to your family?
Tell them that one day I will return to the pack as well. And do not miss me.
That was only my fourth question. So my fifth question is going to be, how do you plan on returning to the
How
pack?
will you do that?
All of us are here forever in Barovia.
Ooh, I'm also here to stop that. Sorry.
So maybe you won't. Sorry.
Ooh,
Before
a
you
little
say this, if you would
awkward.
say this out loud,
I said it out
his
loud.
Oh
spirit
no.
already is disappearing from his body, but Zuleika looks at you questioningly. What do you mean by that?
It's unnatural for your souls to be recycled, if you will, from one death into a new body and back again. It is not natural. It is a slight against the Raven Queen.
Some people would
And
call
we
that
will-
religion.
It has always been the way of Barovia as far as we have known, so...
Souls belong to the Raven Queen, or at least they belong to not Barovia. The souls they don't belong to anyone, but they need to pass through the Raven Queen so she can send them to wherever they go afterwards. I imagine Lane would know. I don't know. I don't know a ton about the Raven Queen personally, but
It's fairly accurate. Seems right on brand there.
but it's unnatural for them to stay here. So whenever we kill Strahd, Barovia will return to where it came from, or another person will take over. But the souls should stop recycling or going back and forth. New souls will be born, and those that pass, their soul will pass from the Raven Queen to wherever else in the plains they will go.
She looks at you, kind of smirks a little bit, and says, perhaps you and Raylan wouldn't get along as well as I thought. If you'll all excuse me, unless you'd like to assist, I have a lot of work to be done around here.
Ooh,
Does
I can do
Raylan,
burial rites.
does Raylan want the souls to stay here too?
She kind of smiles at you and says, I guess that's something you'd have to talk with him about.
But I'm asking you.
And I am answering you.
Fair enough.
Would Oseos be coming up soon?
Yes. Osteus shows up just a couple of moments behind what appears to be about 10 werewolves that are dressed in armor with weapons. He comes in right behind them as they walk in through the gate. The guards rushing in with their weapons. Zuleika meets them out there and says, they say, the alarm, it was sounded and then it stopped suddenly. Is everything all right? Everything is not all right, no. We will have to get the burgomaster up here, and we have many to bury. Understood. He sends a runner back off down the hill. As Oseus comes up here to you, Nakari, is there anything you wanted him for specifically, or?
When I walked outside in the back, the magic on those two, I remembered a name, and I'm gonna go talk to Raylan. He seemed to know who Meridian was. Maybe he'll know this one too.
Are you just telling this to Ra and Harkem and Lane?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get on Arceus and go back down the hill.
I'll join her. I assume I can just fly down the hill as I wait for her.
Yeah, you can fly down the hill. Ra, Lane, are you staying up there at the Abbey?
I will stay here to do burial rites and make sure that in case any of these guys were bit, they do not turn undead.
Okay. Ra, are you going with them then, or are you staying up here with Lane?
No. Oh.
That's a 1 hour cast time with 25 gold piece worth of powdered silver.
Yeah,
No, I'm sure they have silver around here somewhere.
I will.
I think they could probably muster up some
I'm not
powdered
gonna
silver
wait
up here.
1 hour for him to do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
no.
It's like 4 hours. Unless I can do it.
It's everyone within 10 feet. Oh, wait. No, the target must be 10 feet.
Touch one corpse, and for the next 7 days, the target can't become undead by.
Are you gonna stay up there for 8 hours?
It's 4 hours. There's only 4 dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, okay. There's 4 dead by them, but there was also the 2 in the courtyard, or 3?
Oh, that's 6 hours. Oh, I guess I'll be here all night.
You'll be there for a bit. You'll be there for a bit if you're gonna be up there for it, but
I will do that.
okay. Nakari, Arkem, and Ra, as you make your way down to the Burgomaster's manor, or Raylan's small cabin. You approach, and it appears to be the door appears to be closed. What'd you like to do?
I'll knock on it first.
Okay. You hear a thud of noise from somewhere inside, and a couple of shuffling noises, and then after a moment, the door opens up. Very tired-looking Raylan answers the door. What's going on? Good morning. Sorry, I didn't get much sleep last night. It's uneasy. The stillness of it all.
I'm just gonna kind of like wave that away. The Abbey was attacked. Who's Galadesh?
Um, Galadesh. He works for Strahd.
He was there.
He was at the Abbey. What did he do? What happened?
Hmm. Some guards were killed, and the vampires they had up there were let loose. Lane was able to speak to a couple of them that had, or a couple of the guards that had died, and they talked about a man with the weird laughter, which I remembered the name Galadesh, and a woman in bandages.
Yes. Of course, if he was there, then she was as well. They always travel together.
Who is she?
Her name is Lex, and she works for Strahd with him. They're his assassins. Or infiltrators. They're very deadly. And you see, as he's saying this, he's putting his boots on and he's starting to get ready. Make sure his sword is attached at his hip. We have to go up there. I have to see the scene. Did you see them there?
I did not.
They fled out the window to the east. Presumably. If that is east.
That is east.
Okay.
They have no doubt only been sent up there to do that for some reason. You said they set free vampires. Where are they? Were they contained, recaptured, or slain?
Most were slain. A few ran away from the sunlight.
Mostly slain.
I'm sorry. The sunlight?
Our
Oh,
friend,
Lane.
our friend opened a pocket in the sky and sunlight came down. It's not really a big deal.
Don't bring it up to him. He's acted weird ever since he did it.
It's a bit of a big deal here.
The
Yeah,
sun
don't
never
say that
shines
to him.
here.
Yeah, but it
Her.
wasn't permanent. It was more of a show.
Yeah, please don't.
Lane's a lady.
Oh, yeah, fuck, I forgot. Don't bring it up there.
I'm gonna need a more effeminate voice out of you, Lane.
Okay, I'll just talk like this.
No,
Nailed
you're
it.
more old and gruff, because
Yeah.
you're like
it's
Yeah,
Huggy.
so my voice is actually appropriate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
it's
kind of
actually
fitting.
appropriate. It's fair.
Yeah.
This is Susan.
Susan.
I'm gonna be an old woman from New York that like smokes 2 packs a day.
Hey, I'm walking here.
As Raylan comes out from the home, he says we need to get up there and see if maybe we can find some trace of them. You've checked, you said, and he looks over towards you, Harkham.
Yes. I don't know what more info you could find.
He
We've
looks at you for a
seen-
moment.
I saw where they fled. I saw where they opened the locks. We spoke to them. Are you okay? He seems a little, like, not with it, right? Like,
He looks pretty out of it, yeah.
Perhaps you stay here and rest for a little bit.
I can't rest if they're involved. Not right now. I will get sleep later, but thank you. And with that, he starts to run up there, and as he does, he transforms into a fairly large white wolf on all fours, and begins running up the road
That is
towards
so
the Abbey.
weird.
I'll get back on Oseos and have him run up there too.
Are we
Okay.
really going back up? I mean, it wasn't that much of a trip for me, but...
Okay, so you all travel back up to
Yeah.
the Abbey. Lane is starting on some
Not even
funeral
done with the
rites
first one.
up here. Not quite
Not even
finished
done.
with the first one. Getting a little bit of progress going though, as the others, as the guards nearby are digging the graves up here for the guards that did die. We're gonna go on ahead and clear out all these corpses, just so they're not there anymore.
No, I do have it prepared. Okay. Lane, would you like help?
Sure.
Yes, it too.
I don't know if it would speed it up, but will
Literally
accept your
half the
help.
time.
Literally have the fun. Okay, so you're going to
Yeah.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
start
you can
crafting
do it
it.
too. Oh, I didn't know you could do this too. That's
I think Lane thinks your god isn't good enough.
that spell actually at one point saved Tem from dying when she made
Yeah.
those paintings.
Oh, that's not funeral rites.
No, it was she just asked if she could use it when she made the paintings. And I was like,
Huh.
okay, I guess it'll just have some random effect. It'll just save him
That's
from
cool.
dying once.
So, Nakari, before we go fight Strahd, we can get married and have +2 AC.
Is that how
Just
that
a
works?
tax break.
And
That's what we're doing it for.
Lane and Ra could get married and
Oh,
do the same.
Yeah, dude. We're doing it for the taxes.
Strictly for the benefits.
Okay. Oh no, not Raylana. Okay, so we have everyone that's up here. Okay. As you all arrive up here, the guards putting are digging graves for the werewolves who died up here, and Lane and now Nakari starting to perform funeral rites for them. Raylan takes Zuleika off to the side, a little bit away from where the graves are, and the rest of you. Harkem and Lane, with your passive perception, you would kind of pick up on some of what their whispered back and forth conversation is.
Oh, I'll get closer and hide. If I see them
Okay,
go
give me
off
a-
to the
give me a stealth
side.
Give me a stealth check. I would say they're kind of out in the open, so this one's got to be probably
Oh, if they
straight.
went over here, I would have went, like, over here.
No, they're
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh, here, I'll put everyone kind of where they're at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I just put them here.
I don't know how to
Hold on.
do it straight, but you just take the first one. Oh, we're not in the courtyard. Oh, okay.
No, they're over here. There's the guard. Here's no, not you.
Wait, hold
You-
up. If they're burning these bodies,
Yeah, so you're
They're-
super wasting your time, but you know.
they're
You
digging
know.
graves because you're
Oh,
offering
okay.
to. If you've
Oh, okay.
offered to do funeral rites, then
Yeah.
she's explained that she will forego the pyre because that is the reason they burn
Okay. All right. That's
bodies.
cool.
And to which she also adds before they get up here that what you're doing is a great service to them and their families. So, but yeah, he walks off, kind of over here, and it'd be kind of out in the open.
Kind of
so,
take a couple steps closer as I draw Ra with me, kind of making it look like we're talking. But he
Okay.
actually starts talking like, shut up, shut up.
Oh, wait, what's going on?
It still did advantage, but...
Okay,
28 for the first one.
28, pretty good. They don't seem to look over in your direction. He says, "You had vampires. How many? How many in here? What was only... It was only 8. 8 total. How many have escaped? How many have put our town at risk? I am uncertain. You're uncertain. You are unfit."
Oh, shit.
You see her look down at the snow.
Oh,
You need to get the other guards, and you need to find out where they went. You need to make sure that the town is safe.
Tell Rob
Yes,
we need to get
of
out
course.
of here. They're about to have a war of power, and I don't want to be here.
that sounds like a great idea.
Zuleika
Zuleika
lowers
makes
her
bird
gaze
and fly
and
away.
she grabs a few of the guards and begins to make her way down. I locked the door instead of opening it. Bone meal for days. He then rejoins you. Please, if you could show me where
That looked a
you had
little
last seen
heated.
footprints.
Everything okay?
I am concerned about the idea of starving vampires being loose within our walls. She put many things at risk with this study.
But it seems, to me at least, what she was doing was important. Otherwise, why would these two go through such lengths to stop it?
He looks at you for a moment, and then he kind of nods and looks back towards the gate of the Abbey, where Zuleika is leaving.
Obviously,
maybe-
they wanted something to stop. She was close to uncovering something.
Maybe you're right.
Personally, I don't care. I'm just letting you know.
Well, if you could please show me where you had last seen the footprints.
Oh, yeah. I go to where I saw the footprint last.
Okay. You take him first to the room, and then show him where the clearer set of footprints were, and then are you going to fly out to the other ones?
Yeah.
Okay. He
And
is
show
going
like
to-
where they were leading off to and tell them I
Okay.
didn't see anything, but
He's going to follow you out there, and he is going to sniff along the ground as he makes his way down.
I sniff on the ground too.
It takes him a little longer to get to where you were at, as he does seem to be trying to smell for something in the snow as he is making his way down.
I've
And
never
he,
seen it
of course,
before, so I want
has
to try.
to climb. He looks at you a little.
Maybe he's onto something that I don't know about.
Yeah, he looks at you a little strangely as you smell, but he doesn't question it. He just continues to sniff around, and then he stops and he says, "I can't find them anywhere.
I don't smell anything either.
I smell traces of them, but I don't smell a trail.
That's
They
what I
were
meant.
here. I wish I should be at 100% looking for them, and I'm not right now.
I did tell you you needed rest. If you don't keep your strength up, what happens if they come back in force and you're not at 100%?
I might be letting my judgment get clouded. It's personal with these two. This
I'm
isn't the first time they've been in these walls.
I'm sure it is, but You need your strength if you're to face them, no?
You are right. He places his heavy, clawed hand on your shoulder. Thank you. And thank you for you and the rest of your group's help at the Abbey. There were a lot dead, but I am sure that everyone would be if it hadn't been for your intervention.
Oh, probably. It was really bad. There was a lot of them.
Okay, the two of you make your way back towards the Abbey.
I'll grab him and fly him back up the hill if he can't just climb up.
Okay, yeah, he's got to climb up. He can climb up pretty nimbly.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like it's hard for him
I
at
let him
all.
do that then.
Okay, yeah, he
Oh, yeah, because of those
traverses-
claws he's got on,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
He traverses difficult terrain like it is nothing.
I forgot about those sick claws.
You make your way back out to where Lane and Nakari are continuing to perform funeral rites. During the next couple hours or so while they are doing this, is there anything specific, Ra and Harkem, that you would like to do?
I would like to quickly rifle through the pages that I stole.
Okay. Ra, are you doing anything?
Well, you said how long am I?
3 hours.
It's gonna be 2.5, almost 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of heal my
Short rest?
feathers a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Ra, you begin a short rest. Harkem, do you know Abyssal?
Ooh, do I? I don't think so. I know Undercommon and what the fuck is Orin? I do not know Abyssal.
Okay, then some of this is illegible. It just looks like scribbles, with random dots around it.
What the fuck? I was gonna put him back, but that seems not right.
But some of it is readable. It says hold on, looking for my note here. Okay. It says Subject 7 showed signs of extreme reaction in his blood. Has been contained for further testing. And then there's some of that illegible writing. And then it says Subject 7 has not survived the second round of extraction. The specimen is preserved. And then there's more of that illegible writing. And then it goes on in the next one. It says Specimen 7-A has spoken. And then there's what looks like another half page of that illegible writing.
That seems fishy to me, right? Like, who would write notes and then have a strange script that I can't read?
It does seem like someone would be writing something to keep something secret if they were writing between two different languages. Otherwise, why
Normal
wouldn't they
people
just write
just
it all
do
in one?
ciphers. There's no ciphers on here, right?
Doesn't look like any kind of cipher or anything. No
Then
thieves can't, unfortunately.
Super fishy, then. I know Ra. I know what languages Ra speaks, and I know that wouldn't be one of them.
You
I assume.
are correct.
Because we're friends or brothers.
brothers.
Friend brothers.
We went to the same school. We learned the same things. We just went separate paths in our
You know
teenage
Oren
years.
too?
I slept through that class.
Well
Sorry.
then, while they do
No, he
their...
knows Orin.
He does know Oren, okay.
He knows Orin in common.
That must be a bird
And
thing then, right?
Aarakocra.
It must be.
Um,
I mean, of course I know. I didn't sleep through that one.
while they do their thing, then I will, since I assume the heart thing might not last too well, I will try to extract a poison from the heart and anything else if I have time.
Okay. Give me a check with your
Hell
Poisoner's kit.
yeah.
to try and
Fuck.
make a poison.
I mean, yeah.
17. That's a success.
Brewing up something deadly.
So what we're gonna do is it is going to be. Hold on. I'm gonna give you. Roll Actually, you're probably only going to be able to get one dose of this.
One
but
dose?
it's going to
Yeah,
be pretty good.
that makes sense.
One
Never seen it
dose.
before.
DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
DC
Does-
16 con save.
And it does 4d8
Oh
necrotic.
my god, necrotic. 48 necrotic. Is that a codable poison?
That is a codable poison. It cannot. It could probably make someone sick if they were to ingest it, but it wouldn't. It probably wouldn't like kill them. But it's definitely for like applying to an open wound.
V blood poison. Nice. Is that all I have time for?
See that's about. I think you make a poison like as part of a short rest, basically.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it works? Yeah. So that's another hour. Raylan thanks both Nakari and Lane for the services they're doing. And he returns back down to the manor as well. Only these guards remaining up here with you. You probably have like another half hour or so, really. So you can take your short rest if you're both taking one. I don't know if
No, I'll
you
just
are.
try for another poison if I have time. I did not
Okay.
take damage because I'm stealthy.
Okay. Try for another poison then.
Can I try to use that orange moss I found that I wrote?
The
Cold fire
orange
moss?
moss.
That was on the
give me-
door of the winery that burned raw.
Let me check.
Be cold and
That I said, hey, Rob,
see.
touch this. And he's like, okay. I thought you'd be okay because I thought it was poison. It did a lot of damage to you.
I trusted.
Bum, bum, bum. Trying to see if I can find it here. Sorry.
It was whatever that moss was on the winery that damaged us.
You could possibly turn it into a poison, but you're not sure if it would be one that would be coatable on a weapon, or if it would instead be something that you have
Ingested.
to touch to someone or
Oh,
possibly
like a
ingest.
throw. Okay.
Yeah, it might
Yeah,
be
we'll
one
see.
of those two.
Would I
Okay.
know when I make it what kind it would
Yes,
be?
you'll know when you make it.
All right. Yeah. Fuck it.
Okay, give me a check with your poisoner's kit.
Ooh, 27.
Ooh,
Natural 20.
Okay. This is an ingested poison.
Nice.
They have disadvantage on the con save if they do eat it, obviously. And it will be a DC 15. And it does 3d6 cold. And they become paralyzed
Oh shit.
Oh, that's a good one.
for an hour.
Oh my god.
Fuck. It's hard to get someone to ingest poison now. Disadvantage if ingested.
Just hold person for a minute and shove it down their throat.
Ingested. Cold. No orange moss.
Or you could do it stealthily, put it in their drink.
This is called frost lichen?
Lichen? Lichen?
Frost lichen poison.
Frost lichen poison.
As you finish making this poison up here, and Lane and Nakari finish their funeral rites, some of the guards you hear are talking about lunch, as it is probably nearing around a little past noon.
Men died here and all you could think is food?
Oh, sorry.
I mean, they were trained that way. The first person they checked on was the chef, so...
Right? You're thinking of the wrong group of people if you don't think werewolves think with their stomach first. I'm just saying. Like,
You never read Twilight? Jeez.
is that a thing in Twilight?
Yeah.
I never read that. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Werewolves eat like fucking crazy and they go fucking nuts when they're eating. It's weird.
I just figured werewolves would typically be hungry all the time, or often, and also they're werewolves. Why would
They're
why
burning
wouldn't
a
they-
lot of calories, dude. I
Right.
mean, in their wolf
Yeah.
form.
Checks out. Well, I guess we're going to head back down to the tavern. Do you need anything? And he points over at the other two guards that seem to have stepped off to the side. No, we'll be fine. Just make sure we're relieved before too long. Yeah, we'll send relief up here. Okay, thanks. And the guards start to head down, only two remaining up here at the Abbey. What would you all like to do?
If Lane and Nakari are back with us, I will quietly ask them, do either of you know what this language is?
Oh, yeah, smart.
And I will show them the paper.
I know what it is.
You know Abyssal?
Yep.
Okay. The illegible text is a dark shadow moves through this blood. It seems to live independent from the creature, its own organism. The second block of text is, I swear I see a shifting of faces, a figure within this vial. I wonder what it is doing. And then the last one is, this voice will lead me to end Strahd. I
Oh, fuck.
That's not
have
good.
seen and heard its message.
Everybody's...
All I need is one of his own, and I can find a way to stop him.
Oh, no.
Oh no, what?
She's possessed.
What does it say?
It says, This voice will lead me to end Strahd. I have seen and heard its message. All I need is one of his own. That's the last one. The second one's kind of garbled. I didn't get all of it.
Is that not what we want?
Yeah, but if something is speaking to her, that is generally not a good thing, I would assume.
It could be misleading her.
Does she have someone speaking to you, telling you to end Strahd?
I think that's a little bit different.
Is it?
Is it?
I don't know. I'll talk with her and find out.
Hey. Not jump to conclusion, shall we?
Probably not mention that I stole these. I mean, happened upon
Now-
these.
What did the other journals say?
The common.
No, the other journals. In the room where they were researching, there was more books in there.
Oh, this was all I could steal in that confusion. I didn't get to... Right? Yeah, I didn't get to look at
You
those.
grabbed
Yeah.
something yesterday when
Oh, I
Ra
did
distracted
grab
them.
something.
You didn't really get a chance to look
Dude,
at what
That's right,
it
I
was.
got
It felt
caught.
cold and
Yeah.
solid.
Oh, what is it?
Did
I pulled it out of my pocket like with my
okay.
birthday.
You pull it out, and as you pull it around or out of your pocket, it looks dull, like a black rock kind of. But as you lift it up close to Lane, it starts to glow,
Oh, what the fuck?
and you recognize it instantly. All of you. It looks like a crystal from in that cavern.
I guess it was a good find. I don't think it's a book, though.
Can I hold it?
No. It's mine. I found it.
I mean, I'll give it back to you. I don't want it. I don't care what it is, really. I just want to see if it glows brighter when I hold it.
Okay.
Is it your precious?
Yeah, I give it to him.
Okay. The glow doesn't seem to change any when you're holding it. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, fuck.
Actually,
For religion?
I think it. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it'd be history.
Oh.
History? Okay, I'm not too bad at that. I'm gonna give myself guidance, though. Raven Queen be with me. History? Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck.
Plus four.
1d4 plus a d4.
Plus a d4. Yeah.
4? Come on.
Hell yeah.
Come on.
You've heard of crystals being used in magical spells before. It's very common, but crystallized formations in the Shadowfell are not very common. So while this does seem to have some kind of link to the Shadowfell, that you can visibly or you can physically sense a connection with the Shadowfell, you can't place where this might fit in the world.
What is it?
I have no idea. I know very little about crystals. I don't see them in the Shadowfell. They're used for magic sometimes.
Is it from the Shadowfell?
Wait, did you say it? What you said? It. I couldn't tell, right?
You can tell that it's definitely got Shadowfell energies in it.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's from the Shadowfell, but it could also. So it's kind of hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
So she has a crystal with energy from your world.
That's right.
And a book or writing. What language is this even?
It's written in Abyssal. Are the guard? Did Zuleika leave the area? Did she go with
Yes.
Raylan down the hill?
She went off before Raylan.
So
Perhaps.
she's not here at the Abbey.
She's not up at the Abbey, no.
I think we should go take
At what?
go through all the papers. Better look at them all.
I
See
can't
what's
hear you.
happening.
You have to whisper a little louder.
We should go look at all the papers and see what's in her office and what she's trying to cover up in there. It can't be the only paper. We should see if we can get the full story. And I want to say that. I don't want to say that like super loud so the guards can hear me because I see the other two up there.
Okay.
Do you think we should go take a look?
You said you're saying it kind of loudly?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Okay, you're saying it quietly because
Quietly,
of the guards.
yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, if
The-
you'd like.
They're not going to stop us from going in there now.
Obviously, I said this to Raylan too. What she was doing here caught the eye of Strahd. Obviously, she was doing something that they don't want.
Yeah, I think she might be onto something. I mean, seems kind of. I don't really like the whole consorting with demons thing, but you know, if
Maybe we just let her do her thing.
yeah, but I'd like to know what it is though, if we can find out more information. I think we should go look, rifle through her office, very carefully though, so we don't make a big mess and she doesn't know we're in there.
I look over at Ra and Nakari.
So, how we,
Okay.
I'm all for it. How are you gonna, what's the plan?
We're just gonna walk in, and
I
I'll
mean,
start
you can
walking
always-
towards the gate.
We could always do one of our plays. You can distract them as we run up.
Ah,
We don't need to distract him. We just walk in like we own the place.
Does that usually work for you?
Yeah, especially after I just.
Do I
buried
believe
four-
him?
I'm just gonna start walking.
Okay,
They're
as you go-
talking about walking.
As you go walking, one of the guards calls after you, Nakari. Where are you going?
See, I told you it wouldn't work. Oh, he's gone.
Where are you going?
As they have their attention, I fly up to the window.
Give me a stealth check. What were you gonna say, Nakari?
I'm going back to where. What was that guy's name? Oren was? I left something in there.
Give me a deception check.
Why does it keep going to feature?
Ooh!
I guess that's fair. And he looks over towards the other guard. Yeah, that's fine. She left something. She's got to get it. I don't. Just go watch her. Just make sure. I'll go. You stay here and you watch on him. And he points over at Ra. Unless you were doing something, Ra.
I would like to act extra bird-like, and when I hear my
Okay.
name, like, that creepy little thing birds do when they whip their head over, open up my mouth a little bit.
Okay.
Ah!
He points over at Ra, and then he stops for a second. Well, yeah, just keep an eye on him then. I'll just go with those two. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast mislead. Since
Okay.
What a
I'm gonna
spell,
cast-
mislead.
yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I'm gonna cast mislead, and I'm gonna use it to talk to the guard and just say, "Oh, hold on 1 second. She can go. It's no problem." And just make small talk with him with my double because it can speak and move and things, and just kind of hold it, hold his attention there. And then I'm invisible, so he can't see this.
Okay. Well, yeah, that
Just to kinda hold him
funeral-
there.
Those funerals were really nice. I think it was good for those people, and it's going to be good for their families to get closure. It just kind of keeps talking.
Nakari,
You got
I'm
a sub-
behind you.
Subject you're going to talk to him about?
Yeah, talk to him about the funeral, talk to him about his family, talk to him about the Raven Queen, and maybe what is it, proselytize or whatever it is, a little bit, sway him over to the
Okay.
Raven Queen.
Okay. We might revisit that in a moment.
I can't read. I can't read that language that you showed me, so I'm gonna stay downstairs in case he comes by.
Okay. Um,
And I'm gonna look through these books.
you're gonna what?
I'm gonna look through these.
Okay. First glance, most of these books all appear to be different iterations of what seems to be mostly personal notes that, as you go through more and more of them, you realize that this is these werewolves learning over time how to extract blood properly from vampires, as well as a multitude of different medicinal themed things that they have attempted to do to find a weakness in them. Mostly, it looks pretty torturous and bad.
I told you a distraction would help.
So
Okay.
it's, yeah.
Looking over her desk, you see a couple journals that appear to have latches over them, a bottle of ink, and
Like locked journals?
they're just latched closed, but
Oh.
they don't appear to be locked. And sitting on the table, or not sitting on the table, but on the table, with both of your fairly high passive perceptions,
22.
notice what appears to be a small black ring.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Don't put that
about-
on.
About 2 or 3 inches in diameter.
Are there any hidden compartments on the desk?
It doesn't appear to have drawers or anything, just almost like a table.
What a boring workstation.
Is this a black ring? Is that like a ring for your finger?
No, it's just a black ring set into the wood. Appears to
Oh,
be some
okay.
kind of stain.
Oh, I thought you. Yeah, I thought you
Oh.
meant like a ring
No,
for
not
your
like
finger.
No, not like a ring. It's on the table, like a water
like
ring almost.
Like an ink bottle was there?
Possibly.
What do you think would make that ring?
Probably just an ink bottle.
I moved the ink bottle over to it. It's on the table, right?
There is an ink bottle on the table. Yes.
Does it match the
It
ring?
is fair square.
Oh, I don't think
Yeah,
it
it's
was
square,
the ink bottle.
not circular.
Something. I can't use any magic here. My distraction is at the gate with the guard. And as I say that, I was just like, I'll be right back. And then I'll just blink and like use the senses of the double so I can go engage in conversation with the guard again.
I poke him.
You're not
so-
coming through. You're not coming through.
I was muted. He responds, or he looks at you as your illusory double kind of like shift its attention a little bit more focused towards him as he's kind of stepped off to the side. Oh, I'm sorry. I just kind of started droning on about my day there a little bit. It's just been real busy. I got up real early this morning. I was supposed to be off shift, and he continues droning on.
No, tell me more. I like
I'll
your.
switch back. I'll switch back to my real self then.
I'm sitting
Okay.
there poking him in the forehead. Poking her in the forehead.
What are you doing? Stop! I'm invisible, by the way, so you might have poked my eye out.
Yeah.
Oh no, his only eye.
Oh no. You just stick your finger out and feel this gross, wet eye socket. No, I'm joking.
Is there anything in the room that looks like it would match that circle?
Doesn't appear to be anything here in the room that looks like it would.
Well, this was not helpful.
So can we? Yeah, I mean, we can rifle through all the books, and I'm gonna like look through all the books and see if there's any more abyssal or anything like that.
There doesn't appear to be any abyssal written in these 2 journals.
Any more
It does
crazy
have-
shit?
It does have references to subjects by number. They seem to go up, or seem to be kind of sporadic in which order they're logged.
Check for
Not
subject number
numerically.
7.
What's the highest one that I see?
43.
Check subject
Holy
number
fuck.
7.
Yes, we'll check subject number 7.
Are you looking specifically for an entry including subject number 7?
Yeah, 7 was the dark one, right? He was like the one that had the shadowy blood and shit.
You do not see anything regarding subject 7 in any of the journals.
What about 8?
What about
there-
5?
There is a subject 8.
I only say 8 because just to see if she was like maybe comparing 8 to 7 and try to get some context that way.
There do appear to be a few entries regarding a subject 8. It ends ultimately with disposed, failure.
So nothing about 7. No abyssal, nothing about 7 and any of the leftover papers or anything.
None in any of those journals, no. You do notice, rifling through them, that one of the journals is missing a page out of it, though. It appears to have been ripped loose.
Can I
Cool.
hold
anything
the...
about the circle?
Anything about the circle? No. In the journals? No.
Does the page I have look like it was ripped out of something?
No, it appears to be free pages. The ones that you have, it's about 3 or 4 free pages.
So there's something missing there.
Man, I wonder where it would
Whomever
be.
this subject 7 is important.
She probably has it on her. You should leave that paper here, though. You should leave it there so she doesn't know that we
I agree.
know.
Maybe next time she comes, you ask her about it in that weird tongue.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll do it in front of Raylan.
So, this wolf here, he's just like a really old wolf, nothing else crazy about him.
It looks like a really old wolf, yeah.
Why
Very
is
aged.
he... Is there anything around him on the cage? Anything weird? Why is there a wolf in the cage?
There is no lock on this cage.
Oh,
The other cages are locked. This one is not. And it looks like the door on it has actually been set up to where he could easily push it open and get out if he wanted.
I opened the cage.
Okay. He kind of slowly lifts his head up and looks at you, very tired.
I pet
Wags
him.
his tail a little bit.
I pet
Lets you
him.
pet him.
Is that the wolf? No, is that the? That's not the wolf, right? The one.
The
one that we
Subject
had-
Zero
we had-
or
No, not a subject. No, we had one in
Patient
that
Zero.
house. We had a wolf. Didn't we have a wolf
was
or
a
a dog
dog.
or something?
a dog.
Oh.
That's not him.
Yeah. I will start heading back. I'm gonna go back outside. How long does this spell last?
An
An hour.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, I'll go back out and hang around out by my double and just kind of like puppet master my double and talk to the guy. Let my double talk to the guy.
Okay.
I'll pet him and close the cage and jump back out the window.
Okay.
Ooh, can I check the books downstairs? These books were just notes. And see, I just want to check like any kind of papers that I can see anywhere for any
Okay.
kind of like
Oh,
number
sorry
7
for whatever I just
or
did.
anything like that.
Harcam acrobatically flips out the window.
Ha!
I don't know why I accidentally rolled acrobatics for you.
I didn't see it, but I'll do it anyway. Fuck yeah.
I rolled better
Damn!
by 1. Okay, ground floor. You see Nicarius here looking over the different books as you come down. And as you go to approach one of these tables and look,
I am invisible.
start to look over the pages, you see on the wood next to the book, it appears to be a small stained ring on the wood. This one looks like it's red. And you
Oh.
notice it right next to these bottles of blood here. And as you pick up another one of them, it doesn't have a ring on it, but it seems to match the same size. And you recognize this looks to be about the same as the ring upstairs you'd seen on the table.
No, so it's just like stain from the blood bottle or something. Bottle of blood.
Possibly.
Bottle of black blood.
Don't say possibly. You're gonna lead us to another one of those bells in the wall thing.
Possibly.
Does it ring when I tap on it? Does it make
I don't
a
know.
bombing
Are
noise?
you tapping on it?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. But
Okay.
after a moment, it goes clunk clunk.
No.
I'm kidding. But as you look over the notes in the book, though, the handwriting is pretty rough to make out. But it appears to be similar to the notes upstairs, but much longer and detailed description of what these different subjects were subjected to. The process of exsanguination, or organ removal, or limb removal.
You made that word
And
up.
no, that's where you completely drain the blood from the body.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know what that meant.
Oh god, I think I fucked up.
I
Exsanguination.
think you did too. You
Oh
just,
god.
I can't find you.
Really?
Oh, you're good now. Yeah,
He's
you're
been
good now.
exsanguinated.
Can I ask Nakari? Nakari, did you see anything downstairs? Were there any documents or books or anything downstairs?
No, just a table stained with blood and some tools.
Can I go downstairs and like look along the walls and see if there's any traps, trap doors or anything like that?
Give me a perception check.
Fuck
Ooh.
yeah.
Natural 20. Okay. You walk down into this room and you immediately know what kind of room this is. This is a room for torture, for the removal of life from the body in what you can tell looking around has probably been some very painful and aggressive ways. The walls and floors are stained with thick, dark blood. And so are many of the tools, which it does not appear have been very well kept, and some of them have even started to rust under these conditions.
Unacceptable.
What you do not see is anything in here that could lead you out other than the staircase up. Does not appear to have any secret areas.
Alright. Fucking psycho.
I mean,
And I didn't see any
Means
like
to an end.
documents or. Oh.
Documents down there? No.
Oh, the armory though.
you don't know about the armory.
Yeah, I
He
do
was
know
over
about
there
the
by it.
armory because I
Oh.
was in it. I wasn't in it, but I looked in the door. Can I go check the
Oh,
armory? too?
right.
My double's probably. I'm gonna peek out. Make sure my double's still doing a good job.
He's like, are you okay? Hello.
He's still talking to it, going on and on. It looks like he's pulled out some jerky of some kind and is kind of chewing on it. He offered a piece to it, and then after the duplicate didn't take it, he just started eating it himself. He shrugs.
He's got his phone out showing pictures.
Oh, this is upstairs.
Hey,
Oh,
show
okay.
me.
Yes,
Cameras,
upstairs
photos.
as you move into the armory that you had seen earlier, it appears to be just silvered weapons, racks on either side.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
beyond
silvered
that, you-
weapons.
Were there silver
Beyond that-
arrows? It was dark, right? I couldn't see. Fuck.
Can I just get a dagger? Can I get like a silver dagger? Oh fuck, I don't need a dagger. What do I
There
need
do
a
not appear to be any other daggers left. I think
Oh,
they're
man.
gone. It looks like
Hey, Fred.
daggers are just
dagger?
not
What
a
happened to them?
preferred
They've
weapon
been
for 'em, maybe.
requisitioned.
You
All
see
right.
two missing spots where daggers might have been at one point, but
Nice.
maybe one of the guards.
One of them has an old rusted dagger that I picked off of somebody. I think that witch in the cave.
Can I-
These. Okay.
Oh, these look nice.
Looks
Nicer.
like. Yeah, they're nicer than the other rooms. These three, or these three do appear to be so, but still very simple. Only having a bed and a small dresser next to it.
Nothing in the drawers if I look through them all.
Clothes, a couple notes from family members, things like. But it doesn't seem like full out letters. They just look like words of encouragement, drawings from children, and stuff like that.
All right. Well, I think we looked through this place enough. I don't think there's anything else.
Okay. Nakari, what are you doing in there?
The more that she reads and the worse that it gets, she's gonna get more upset and just start leaving.
Okay. Oh, he's not there. What is he doing there? Okay. You make your way back out. Lane, the werewolf. So I told him, if you want to arm wrestle me, you gotta show the money first. You know?
Did you win?
Oh, he wouldn't show me the money. He was scared, I think.
You want to arm wrestle right now?
You want to arm wrestle right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much money you want to put on it?
Well, I'll put 5 gold on it.
Oh, god damn.
5 gold?
That dude's got money or a crippling
I
gambling
mean,
addiction.
as he says this, he flexes a pretty sizable muscle.
That's fun. I'm gonna give myself cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
Money's on the other guy.
And I'm also gonna cast.
Can I bet too?
What else am I gonna cast?
I talked to the other werewolf.
Can I cast 6 spells on myself to arm wrestle this dude?
I'm gonna buff the hell out of myself.
Like that Overlord scene where he's just casting 80 spells on himself.
I don't
Wall
think
of
I have anything else to, like, help
Okay.
with this.
Give me a
I'm gonna banish him though.
Give me a strength check. Wow.
Oh, you gonna banish him? What?
Oh,
To the Shadowfell with you.
give me a strength check.
Disadvantage. For peanut shit.
Oh my god, it's almost a 20.
Plus a d4.
Dude,
Okay.
alright.
21. Okay.
For the
21.
one.
Okay. He flexes all of his muscles. You see it, his bicep bulging as he starts to move your hand just a little bit, and then you just or you actually put your force into it and just slam his hand straight down.
Usually
It's
arm
like,
wrestles
"Whoa!"
are best of 3.
It's not best of 3 right now.
Aw.
No, it's just a quick one.
Ooh. Better luck next time.
Oh,
Working out's paid off.
oh, my arm.
Oh, no.
You're strong. That hurts. Oh, here you go. And he pulls out 5 gold.
Hell yeah.
I've never been beaten before.
I've had 1,000 years of practice. Sorry.
1,000 years.
I'll just walk.
Oh, and he looks past you at Nakari. Oh, did you find your... What were you looking for?
I don't know. She's like visibly upset. If you happen to find a silver Morning Lord symbol, will you give it to Raylan?
Yeah, sure. Is that that's the sun one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
That was unnecessary. Did you have to? That might have been his life savings.
I mean, wants to brag about being super strong and.
Oh
arm
no,
wrestling.
his
I thought I
ego's
would
just
give it a
going up
shot.
non-stop.
I didn't know that I would beat him. I mean, I'm pretty strong too, but who knows? It's a werewolf. Look how big his arms are.
I saw you glow and you cheated.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Did you guys find anything?
You're
Didn't
not
find
coming
anything.
through.
Oh, he leans over to the other guard. I can't believe she beat me. You see her? She doesn't even look like she'd be that strong. She's so
All
strong.
5'1", 5'1", 90 pounds of me.
Well, maybe you're just getting weak. Maybe you're just all talk now. Oh, I'm not all talk now.
Now you ruined that poor guy's reputation forever.
Are you guys ready to leave?
Did you guys find anything?
Oh wait, Shadow Kai are fucking tall actually. Well, about like 5'9", probably. No, I didn't find anything. Torture chamber downstairs, that was all.
Nothing other than this Subject 7. Whomever he is.
Missing page out of the book, I guess that could potentially be a clue in the future. If we find the missing page.
Maybe, if you get the chance, ask her in that tongue who Subject 7 is.
Do we know where she went? We could just go find her right now and talk to her. I think we should actually. Raylan's upset with her. She's in kind of a bad spot right now.
I'm just curious. We don't need to, but I want to know.
I have no clue where she went.
Give me 20 minutes, I will find her.
I don't have a. I could just put. I could just find her. I could just send a message to her. Hold on.
You could just... Not everything has to be done by magic means. I can literally find her. Nobody can hide from me.
Okay, find her, and we'll talk to her.
By the time you guys walk down that entire path, I will find her.
That sounds good. Actually, I don't have any spell slots anyway, so yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So you are all going to make your way down the hill.
I'll fly down and start investigating around, asking people if they saw Raylan and Zuleika.
Okay. Raylan, they tell you, has returned back to his home. And Zuleika has been seen with an escort of guards searching around the village. If you would like to try to search for her around the village, give me a perception check.
Hell yeah, 30.
You are flying overhead. It is pretty easy to spot her and her group of guards as they are searching through the streets. You see them coming out from a nearby home.
Do they look like an escort or more of a you're not leaving my sight kind of guard?
They look like an escort. They're following her orders, for sure.
I assume I can fly back before they make their way down that 10-kilometer path.
You could meet them around at the bottom, yeah, if you were action dashing and stuff, because birds flying.
I gave them my word. I will hold to it.
Ba-dum-bum-bum. Hold on, I'm trying to find the Kresk map.
Raylan hopefully took my advice and went to rest. Zuleika is with some guards in this town looking around that way. I don't know for what.
Vampires?
That is a very good guess.
Well, if there were, there's few that escaped, so...
Oh, there were. I forgot all about... Actually, I might not have seen that.
Oh, let's walk around town like we're also looking for vampires and then just happen to run into them.
That is a terrible idea.
I will just start talking to her in Abyssal. See how she reacts.
Okay, let's do that second part, but ignore that first part.
Yeah, we don't have to look for vampires. I don't really care.
Okay. You make your way around to the houses that Harkem had seen her last before flying off. She hasn't made it too far away. She's down at another house. You see two werewolves. Okay. just trying to keep divine sense up to see if you can sense any vampires.
Yeah.
Any baddies?
Okay. Any kind of undead, etc. You see what appears to be 2 werewolves outside of their home, as Zuleika and the guards are searching through it. One of the people there is talking to talking to Zuleika. There's no one in our home. What are you looking for? This is order of the Burgomaster. I'm sure you understand. I do. For the good of the pack. For the
Oh,
good
it
of
is
the
a
pack.
cult.
It is a cult.
After after a moment, the guards come out. All clear. We apologize for inconveniencing you. Please return to your home. Oh, of course, thank you. And they go back into their home. And Zuleika notices you there as you're approaching. Oh, hello. Thank you again for the funeral rites.
Yes. The Raven Queen wishes those souls to be returned, so hopefully that will speed them on their journey once they go. And I will say that entirely in an abyssal.
In Abyssal?
Mm-hmm.
She raises an eyebrow at you and then responds back in Abyssal. I have only ever met another who has known this tongue.
Oh?
Yes. His name was Kirill.
Completely not. I don't know who Kirill is, right?
As he says this word, as she says this word, Kirill, you notice the other werewolves who were kind of looking at this exchange a little strangely, kind of back away from her a little bit, and then quickly shift their gaze away.
Is that like they don't want to be associated with Kirill, and she doesn't mind being
Give me
associated with
an
Kirill?
insight check.
It's a name, so even if it is in another language, it's still the name.
Yes.
Hey.
16. They do not like this name. It makes them uncomfortable for some reason that you can't be sure of. She does not seem to mind saying it.
And I don't know, I don't know who Kirill is, right?
No.
Hero Subject 7.
Nakari, roll a d20 for me, please.
That is this one.
They do look weird on that thing.
3. Okay. You see a sudden vision of a statue of a woman, but its head is replaced with a wolf. It looks like a person at first, but then you realize it's a stone statue that seems to be carved there, candles at its base, and flashes into your head suddenly and then disappears. She says, he was very important to the pack at one point, but has been replaced. He led us in a bad direction. And she says all of this in Abyssal.
Does she believe what she's saying, or is she lying?
Seems like
When
she
she
knows.
says
I mean, she
bad
seems like
direction.
she seems to think it was a bad direction. She doesn't seem like she's being dishonest or anything.
Interesting.
Where did you learn
Boys.
this language?
Oh, I've lived many lives. I've lived for nearly 1,000 years. I picked it up as a hobby at one point in time.
He told me it was a very powerful language.
I suppose it could be. Any language can be powerful, depending on the
meaning or force you put behind your words.
She turns
Depending on
around
who's
towards
speaking them.
She turns around towards the guards who are still kind of just standing nearby, looking visibly uncomfortable, and she says, "Go on to the next house. There's no time to waste." "Yes, of course." They turn and go towards the house. And she speaks in common now, and she says, "How did you know that I would speak it?"
I have some concerns, Zuleika. I am concerned about this voice that you are hearing.
She kind of narrows her eyes as she looks at you. "Go on."
Oh, not me, go on. You go on. What is this voice that you're hearing? Who is it? Where is it coming from? What is it telling you to do? This is not something that is normal.
"It is leading me towards an end to Strahd."
I very much doubt that. Does it have a
Oh,
name?
it does not. I have not heard one. It is it is not just a voice. And she steps a little closer away, further away from the house that the werewolves had went to, and she reaches into her robes. And she pulls out a small leather satchel. And as she pulls the ropes open on it, she pulls out a bottle. It's a bottle of red liquid, but it's swirling with this black, dark color that just shifts in and out, like swirls on a lava lamp almost. And she says, This has spoken to me. I've heard its voice. It is the blood from one of his vampires."
Will it speak with anyone else?
I do not know.
Care to find out?
Looks down at it and then looks over at you. I am unsure. I think she puts it back into the leather pouch and ties it back. I think that I must hold on to this. I appreciate your help.
Did
She
it tell you that?
tucks it into her robe. No, it doesn't talk so often, is all that.
I get
I
out of
should-
view and hide.
Okay. I appreciate your assistance at the Abbey, but I've told you. What I'm doing is very important to the people here. It's very important to all the people in Barovia. And I think that our goals align. If you wish to defeat Strahd, we should work together. But that will require trust on your end as well.
I don't think that can happen now. I don't trust whatever this entity is that is talking to you. Where did you get this vial? Or this bottle of liquid, whatever this liquid is? Where did it come from? Did you extract it from one of the vampires? She said it was blood, right?
Yes, she said it was blood she extracted from a vampire.
Which vampire? Was this Subject 7?
Yes, that is what he was numbered as.
Did he
Do you-
have a name?
I do not know what his name was. Never learned it. We didn't have him there for very long. He unfortunately died before we were able to get much information out of him, or even very much of his blood.
Hmm.
It was very hard in the beginning trying to keep them alive properly because we weren't fully familiar with them.
Be careful that you're not misled. I really doubt that this vampire is working against Strahd. I have a feeling Strahd controls everything here.
I do think in many ways you are right. Strahd controls much of what goes on here. But I do not believe that this is Strahd. I think this is a key to his weakness. Harkam, did you roll a stealth check for me?
As it seems like this conversation's not going anywhere further, if I if I get a good chance, I would like to try to steal it from where I saw her put it back.
Okay. She, I will tell you this, has put it into her robes and has kept her hand
Yeah.
in
If,
the robes on it.
if I don't
Um,
notice a good spot, then I will not try.
She does not seem to be moving her hand away from it. She seems like she's holding on to it or something inside of her robes, but it's exactly where she had put it. I understand the concern. I truly do. Evil corrupts much in this land, but I do not feel as if this is evil. I think it is right. Perhaps an individual transformed by Strahd that had disliked being changed and is looking for revenge of its own.
Oh no.
I think you're likely to be taken. And I think I will not. I don't have any plans to try and stop you unless somebody else wants to. But I really doubt that this will be. No, no, no. I really doubt that I'll be able to talk to you again. This will be likely your end. So either let us help you now, or your end will be here very quickly.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm not really good at those. Fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. Where's my attributes? Persuasion. Oh, this is a -1, so natural 20. Fuck yeah.
Oh, it was almost
13.
there.
13. I really hate to hear that you feel this way. I hope that in the future you change your mind on that. And when it comes time, you come to me to find a way to defeat him, because I believe that I have the answer. Or I will soon.
If you're still here, then I'll walk away.
Do I believe what she says?
Give me an insight check.
I
And what do
assume
you
she's
mean by
telling
believe?
that she
believe
does
what she
believe that she will have an answer to beat Strahd. I feel like she's telling the truth, but doesn't hurt to check.
She seems like she's pretty set in her convictions here. But she believes that this is a good answer.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like that before, right? Like blood swirling with a shadow, like it's possessed or anything.
Give me a religion check.
Fuck off, come on.
Yeah.
No, never seen it.
You know there are a lot of dark and foul magics that are related to blood and necromancy, but you really can't recall anything like this. It seems fairly out of the norm and quite strange.
No shit, that's a circle bottle. Is it about the same size as the circles that are on the table?
Yes. It looks like as she pulled it out, it looked to be one of the same bottles that were up there at the Abbey.
But this one is red. And there was a
Um,
black one and a red one?
There was red. It's red with black in it, like it's swirling with a black coloration.
Fuck, does it do different? I wonder if it does different stuff when she puts it on her circle. Maybe it's burning the table. I want that fucking bottle.
Me too.
How
Okay.
strong is Zuleika? Like how strong does she seem? Like if, you know, if I was gonna cast Hold Person on her, do I think I could do it?
Would you roll? Give me an insight check. Her stat sheet's not fully accurate right now, but yeah, you feel like you could probably hit her. You could probably subdue her with a hold person, unless she's really lucky.
Nah, I don't think that's a good
I was gonna say this went from I walk away to hold person.
idea. Well, as I'm walking away, I'm thinking about it.
I'm gonna size her up as I walk away.
I was sizing her up the whole time I was looking at her. Alright, that's all I have.
Anyone else saying anything to Zuleika before she turns away?
I keep watching, see if I get a moment to yoink.
Before
Okay.
she's possessed by demons.
She seems fairly vested on holding on to this bottle for quite a bit after she walks off. Before she does walk off, she thanks Ra and Nakari for their assistance and says, please tell your brother that I also appreciate his help.
No problem.
They both
she
look around
begins-
like, where the fuck did he go?
And she begins to walk back. As she walks back, she seems kind of concerned about this bottle now that she's brought it out and showed it to someone. Looking at her, still using that same insight check, she seems a little nervous, a little
Uh-oh.
concerned.
I'll follow her
Okay.
in the shadows if I can. If there gets to be a point where I can't follow her safely, I'll leave.
Okay. She walks over to the house where the other guards are. She looks around down the road, primarily back towards Lane and Ra and Nakari, who are heading the other direction. Looks back over that way again, and then walks into the house where all the other werewolves are. They're searching through. Then after a couple minutes, they emerge out of the house. She still seems really intent on kind of keeping her. She's pulled it out of her robe, but she is keeping her other hand close to where it would be at under her robes.
Close,
so
but
she
not
isn't-
on.
Yeah, not on it. It's not on it, but it's on the outside of the clothes where her hand is. She seems to kind of hover it around over there.
Fuck it.
Every
Oh.
little, or you notice as she's walking that she seems to check and make sure it's there, and then she walks for a little further, and then she checks again.
Oh.
You have very good perception, so
Do
I'm
I
letting you notice
have-
these sticks.
What do I have? I have an oil flask. Is that about the same size?
It might be comparable in size.
Can I
Size
Indiana
and
Jones
shape.
it?
Glass bottle. Sure. Give me a sleight of hand check if you'd like to try.
I want Indiana Jones it. Oh, fuck yeah,
Okay.
31.
Okay. You dart between the roads, sneaking from between. Actually, I would say probably tree to tree, since you are a bird person. You dart from tree to tree, branch to branch, quietly and stealthily moving around. As she passes underneath one of the trees, you hang upside down
That is
by
exactly
your
what I
leg
just pictured too.
and reach out just beneath her robes, feel the glass bottle, and swap it with your other hand before very quickly ducking back up into the trees. The branch shakes a little bit, and she looks around, touches on her side, seems satisfied, and continues walking.
Fuck yeah.
Holy shit, that was fucking awesome.
I go back to
In
the
your
group.
hand, you hold the leather pouch containing the bottle.
Wow.
Okay. You make it back over to the group. With the leather pouch still in hand. What would you like to do?
Well, what did you all think of what she said?
I think whatever's in that bottle is going to possess her.
We should probably go get it somehow then, yeah?
Or just let her die. I was thinking maybe we should talk to Raylan and tell Raylan that eventually she's going to be possessed and she's potentially dangerous.
I mean, we could just look at what's in the bottle. I'll take it out and show it.
Taking it out of the leather pouch?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a
Oh, shit.
charisma saving throw.
Oh, shit!
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
You get
no.
+5.
Plus 5?
It's trapped.
Oh, plus
Okay.
5.
18. Okay, you just managed to save.
Oh, God.
That's a
Uh,
shame.
As this dark whispering, these words, sounds like a lot of different voices, but all in the same tone, this faint, whispered tone, starts to creep into your mind. It's so quiet that you can't make out any singular sentence. It just sounds like they all run together and over the top of each other, making it impossible to hear.
I feel that, right? Or, well, I guess sense it, hear it.
You hear it in your mind.
I
yes.
quickly put it back in the pouch and throw it on the ground.
Oh, don't. No, I'm going to try and grab it. I don't want it to break.
I put it in the pouch. And then
It's a
put it
leather
on the
pouch.
ground.
It's a glass bottle in a leather pouch. Are you just setting it on the ground?
Yeah, I would try not to
Oh.
break it, obviously. I don't want it to
Okay.
leak out.
You said throw it on the ground, so I was about to say
I
crash.
slam it baseball down.
Oh my god.
Okay, Arkham, as you set this leather pouch
Oh god, don't touch that. It's bad.
on
It's
the
real bad.
ground.
I can touch it.
Don't touch it.
So I have
I
advantage
can
on
touch it.
saving throws to avoid being charmed. So I assume it's being charmed. So I'm gonna pick it up and hold it. in
Why
my
would
hand
you
and
do
see
that?
what
I
it does.
literally
I
just said don't touch it.
I want to see what it does.
Why would you even risk it? I just did it!
Yeah, but I want to talk to it.
Lane,
my
as you reach down to grab this leather pouch and start to pull the ropes open to open it and expose the bottle. That's where we're gonna end tonight's session.